Damas y caballeros, what's happening? Good evening, everybody. You know what it is, man. You know what it is. Sometimes I start at 30 and then I said it. This is my third live a week. I've been trying to do 3 lives a week, and this will be my third live. American Sentinel battle, Canine battle. You know this is all for fun and entertainment purposes only. We agree to disagree. We learn at the same time. Edutainment. Shout out to KRS-One. Let's get it, man. So tonight I was like, you know what? I was talking about these battles. We done battles. We done Scratch versus Bumper. We done Ranger versus Cobalt. We done Lee Robinson versus Von Ganta House. We done what else we done? We done all types of stuff. We done, my memory is it's about to get popping. We done, what's the guy's name? I forgot his name. I'm having a blank right now. So we done all types of different battles, but tonight we gonna do exclusive American Sentinel battles. You know what I'm saying? You see right there, you got Jarrett, he got Knox. We gonna do Bumper. We just gonna have some fun. We probably gonna have to do a part 2 because I get all excited up here. We start using our imagination. We start manifesting things, and then we're not gonna have enough time to do it all. So, let's just start it off with. We're gonna start it off. Well, let me let it warm up a little bit. Let me let it warm up a bit because I got my notes down here. I want to make sure this is fun and educational. For those who don't know, an American Sentinel was created by Lee Robinson, representing Mississippi. It's almost 30 years in the making. If you hear somebody say Deep South Sentinels are also American Sentinels, but those are Ryan's. Ryan Keaton. Shout out to Ryan Keaton. First of all, I wanted to give a shout out to all my future sponsors. I'm not sure who you're going to be, but I appreciate y'all in advance because I know sponsors is coming. I just don't know what y'all look like and who y'all are. So shout out to all my future sponsors. Shout out to all the dog breeders right there. I put a little thing up on my Instagram. Make sure y'all follow me, Jaguar the Band Dog, everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I put a thing up on it. Then they was talking about how being a breeder is a very challenging position. It takes a lot of heart and balls to be a dog breeder, y'all, because I can imagine all the different personalities that y'all deal with, all the different people that promise you things and don't do it. Some people, but not all your clients is like that. But I'm just saying, just dealing with all the stuff. You're dealing with the people that say adopt, don't shop. You're dealing with your own job, your own personal growth. So shout out to all the breeders worldwide, whether you consider the backyard breeder or not. Just shout out to all the amazing dog breeders out there, because without dog breeders, if you go by what the people say, adopt or shop, if every dog, think about this, guys, if every dog got fixed, right? Dogs, we gonna say their average lifespan is 12 to 14 years, right? Give or take, some younger, right? So just imagine if every single dog was fixed. It's going to be a very short time where it's going to be a real shortcut in dogs. So without dog breeders are actually balancing out the population, no matter which way you look at it. So you can't hate on the dog breeders, because if dog breeders get outlawed and every dog gets fixed, our beloved dogs that we love so much, where are they going to go? They're going to be on an extinction list, just like lions, just like tigers, if you really think about it. So shout out once again to all the dog breeders out there. So let's get it popping. Let me read the comments first. We got to warm this one up. We can't just get right into it because I'm getting excited right now. Shout out to Service. Shout out to all my day ones in the building. Shout out to Jared Osborne. You know what I mean? Shout out to him. Shout out to my man BJ the Historian, aka BJ the Brainiac, aka Crybaby the Sinologist. Shout out to Lucky Mills 91 Service. Shout out to my man BJ the Farmer. Tell my little baby girl Burso I said what's up. Tell Grom I said what's up. Exactly. Dogs is like, man, when the Most High was creating things, got like, man, it's just amazing, bro. Like, I love dogs. I don't have a dog fetish because there's a difference between a love and a dog. I'm not a fetish, but I love dogs, and I'm just so appreciative. I'm so appreciative of breeders, trainers, decoys. Man, we got to be like, listen, if you really, really think about it, bro, trainer, everybody has their role. Everyone has a role. Everyone has a role. So shout out to all the people that's involved with dogs, period. And as we talk about this canine battle, I just want to say a couple things. I have 3 American Sentinels, and I love battles. But since I'm the host, my dogs cannot be included because that would be a conflict of interest. I can't be the host and still have my dogs involved. So no Chakra, no Jaguar, no Gnosis. So now, if it's a battle in the future that y'all talk about, then I'll be glad to have Jaguar, Chakra, and Gnosis join it. But I just want to get that out of the way right now. So how these battles is going to work, this is protection. We're going to do protection first, right? We ain't going to talk about conditioning because a lot of these dogs, like, shout out to Ninja. Ninja, listen, Ninja look like he'll be on TV with his agility. That boy is really like a ninja. And then shout out to my man Razorback Mike. He got his dogs listed. Razorback Mike, bro, he got his dogs in shape. Like, he don't be playing around. Like, he really about that life. And I ain't going to tell you all the secrets, but just know, your boy waking up early in the morning time. He's waking up early working his dogs. While y'all sleeping, he's conditioning his dogs. Razorback Mike ain't playing. I ain't going to tell you all the secrets, but just know, while y'all sleeping, while y'all doom scrolling, he not doom scrolling. He's with his dog. So that's just the conditioning part. But the protection part, my envision of the protection part is real protection. Now, we're not doing sport. We can do that another time, but this is real protection. So the scenarios is going to be real scenarios like home invasions, carjackings, ATMs, all these real life situations in addition to that. So we're going to, and also since I'm the host, I'm not the judge. So it's up to y'all to say who will win. It's not up to me because I'm neutral. I'm cool with everybody on here that we talking about. So you know how humans are. Stuff gets so serious. Leave me out of it, buddy. I'm not the judge. I'm the host of it. I'm the promoter. Okay. So with these scenarios right here, we can get it right off the bat. And who do y'all think we're going to do the battle of the brothers, right? Who do y'all think in real life situations, in competitions, street style, who do y'all think will win between Ranger and his brother and his little big brother Kobo? Who do y'all think will win? Ranger and Kobo. Now, Ranger both got that Frankie Bump blood. Both of them, but the thing about Kobo is he's like I say, he's an outcross because he's coming from Midgard Mastiff. Kobo is, I don't know the version of it, but Kobo is related to J.O.'s female named Griselda. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go watch the Louisville Don show with Jared Osborne, which is, we're going to talk about him because he got his boy Knox. He told me. He said they got Knox. He want all the smoke. I told you, he ain't representing Louisville. He not ducking no smoke. So Kobo, in my opinion, versus Ranger would be real close because Ranger, he was a late bloomer. He wasn't real. He was kind of too friendly to the public. You know what I'm saying? He was too friendly to the public. I don't know if Lee would call him an attention whore, but he was friendly to the public, okay? But then he got that sauce. Aiden, shout out to Aiden Gonzalez in Texas. Aiden put that sauce on him, and then he came out. You get what I'm saying? And Kobo, he looked like he been had the sauce in him from the door. So Kobo, listen, Kobo is smaller than him, but we know that. Look, word on the streets, Lee is a historian, guys. We got to give Lee his flowers. You know what I'm saying? Lee is doing what he's doing. Lee been dealing with a lot of dogs. Lee told me personally that Kobo's pain tolerance might be the highest pain tolerance that he's seen. And guess what, y'all? Lee has dealt with real dogs, real pit bulls. I'm talking about Chief, Captain Skip, and stuff that he don't even remember. So he told me personally. So pain tolerance, like I told y'all, if you in the street and the real thing, pain tolerance is a physical thing, but it's also a mental thing, meaning that you're mentally tough. Because it's easy when something don't go your way, like in boxing, you get hit with a shot and then boom, everything crumble. Like a lot of boxers is good, but as soon as you pop them back in the mouth, they start folding. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people that's real good, even dogs is like that. They bullies. When things is going their way, everything works out. But when you pop them back in this real life situation, you don't know what these people's having. You don't know what a criminal has. So pain tolerance is high on my list. So Cole Beasley with the pain tolerance. Now, I'm sure Ranger got some pain tolerance too. That's his hair, that's his brother. You get what I'm saying? So this battle right here, you put this one, say a scenario, we go to Jackson, Mississippi, put them by the ATMs, and then perform this. That's the scenario I want to see. Let's get it. You got Ranger? Okay. Cobalt, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Cobalt, yeah, Cobalt. They're going to say you, hey, Jared, they're going to say you biased because Cobalt is cousins with Griselda. Yeah, so Ranger bad, though. Ranger looked like a model, though. Like, I'm telling y'all, if Lee start going to those dog shows, he probably going to take Ranger and come on with trophies. Just straight like that, just off the looks. Now, Ranger is a bad boy, I'm telling you, though. And I like the way he, like, slow, late bloomers. You know what I'm saying? Something about a late bloomer, because a lot of time people start off fast and they fizzle out. But a late bloomer, they take their time and boom. You get what I'm saying? So you said Lee said natural sensual smoke everything. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I like Cobalt and Cole Beasley. I call him Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley is underrated too. So this battle right here, we talking about all street stuff, and then we have a couple scenarios why we have a couple scenarios where it's almost sport in a way where it's like chase downs or whatever like that. We can do all that right there, but the main thing is to have real situations because we got real protection dogs. You get what I'm saying? This one right here, Ranger Cole Beasley, this is we don't know. This is 50-50 right here because you got a fast starter versus a late bloomer. They have brothers. They got the qualities. Homeboy seem like a more natural Sentry. Because remember, guys, Sentry is more guardian properties, a business, guard dog. Personal protection is something different. They guarding the person and the family. So a dog that's excellent at personal protection, that doesn't mean that they can guard properties. That doesn't always mean that, guys, because it just doesn't mean that. And anybody can tell you that. A Sentry, guardian, and a personal protection is not necessarily the same thing. Some dogs can do well. And some dogs, believe it or not, the opposite is true. Some dogs can guard the property and this, and this. And shout out to Tabari. He was explaining how your dog, if it's a Sentry dog, it doesn't necessarily have to have the nerves of a dog that's a personal protection dog. So you can be excellent Sentry, and really be about the business, but not necessarily when you guarding your person, you may not be as good. So this is really interesting right there. So when you can do both, you got that fusion, then it's a whole new different story. Oh, okay. I haven't seen intensity heat out of Cobalt that I've seen from Ranger. Ranger has a little hate in his heart. Yeah, he a late bloomer. He is a late bloomer. Yeah, he is a late bloomer. So that's Ranger, a puppy off Cobalt. Very nice looking pup so far. Okay, Cobalt Biscuit. Oh, okay. Cobalt Biscuit. Oh, that's my man. I think yeah. That's his name is yeah. Yeah. Cobalt Griselda. Yeah, so that's Ranger. So that's the first one. And then I'll say off of Lee's yard, let me see. Lee got bumper against, you know what? I would like to see bumper against danger. So let me see what that relation. I'm sure they cousins. So you got Danger, Ryan Keaton stud, Danger from Lucky 7 and Widow versus Bumper, Scratch and Halo. That's a nice one right there. they both working right there. You get what I'm saying? Size-wise, I believe Bumper is bigger. Both of them brindle. Who y'all got in that one? Danger versus Bumper. That's a good one right there. Danger versus Bumper. Who y'all got, guys? Danger versus Bumper. Street life, real street scenarios, guys. Strictly on the streets. Strictly on the streets, real life scenarios. Like I say, like home invasion, somebody coming in your crib, something that can, because they family guardians, right? So that's what we want to see. We do a little couple scenarios like with the runs downs, biting the equipment and all that. That's cool. Real life scenarios. Bumper versus Danger. That's another close one right there. Because we already know Danger is real. I'm telling you what Ryan told me. Ranger is very prey driven, crazy. And Ranger is real dog aggressive too. You get what I'm saying? Bumper, I'm not sure Bumper is dog aggressive like that, but Bumper is very high prey driven as well. So you got the super high prey drives. We're going to see how, because Bumper is only 53% Pitbull, Danger is 75%. So we're going to see how the super high prey drive dogs come together. So Bumper versus this one. So you have Ryan, you have Lee handling Bumper, you have Ryan handling this one. You can have it in Mississippi because both of them have it in Mississippi. We can have this one right where the Mississippi State play. Because shout out to Garner, Lee's son, go to Mississippi State. Shout out to Garner, got the full scholarship. Shout out to Lee for, aspiring his son to do that. We can have this right in Bulldog Stadium. I come down there. I don't know how far it is. Is it close to Lee? We can have this in Mississippi. Boom. Right? Bumper versus Danger. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy right there. The internet will go crazy right there. Lee, where you at, Lee? Bumper versus Danger. And then what's the next one we got? We want to see some females? Let me see. Okay, I got another one for y'all. Elsa versus Maggie. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Shout out to Maggie, too. She got them puppies on the ground with Danger. And we know Elsa, listen, Elsa is an excellent producer. I seen her working when I was down there. Elsa and Bumper is full siblings. Elsa, Bumper, Scratch, Aggro. We know the Justice and Halo. So it'll be the Justice and Halo. And then you have another situation where the competition is a high pit bull influence. You see where we going? Danger was 75% pit bull. His half sister Maggie is almost 81% pit bull. And on the other hand, you got Bumper and Elsa the same blood. You know what I'm saying? So you got Maggie. Maggie is bad, bro. Oh, Maggie versus Elsa, bro. That's gonna be something right there, bro. I would love to see that one. Maggie gonna be the favorite. Because Maggie got more videos out. Maggie definitely the favorite. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, Maggie. Like I said, I'm not the judge, guys. I'm the host and the promoter. I'm not the judge. Maggie, listen, this bitch so bad, she going against dudes, bro. Maggie going against dudes. So all these scenarios, you can put. Maggie ain't playing games like that. You get what I'm saying? Maggie ain't playing games. Yeah, I appreciate you, Lee. Yeah. Appreciate you, Lee. Yeah. I appreciate you because we want to see the battle, though, Lee. We want to see Elsa. We want to see Elsa versus Maggie. Yeah. That'd be good too. And who else can we do? Yeah, so that's just what this does. If something else pop out, something else pop out. So I was promoting this on Instagram, right? And I was like, we're gonna do the K9 battles. And my boy Knox was like, who I'm against? Knox, my boy Louis Von Don, Jared wanted to smoke. I was like, you know what? We could do Knox versus Vader. Knox versus Vader, guys. Let me try to bring up the video for you guys. Jaguar, what you doing? You sleeping? You snoring like that. So what you doing, buddy? So we got first round one. First round we got Knox versus Vader, guys. So we got it. We can't just get right. We got to tell y'all what the build up is for you, because for those who know, make sure y'all smash the thumbs up too. We get in started. So you got, hold on one second. Let me see. Let's see 1 second, guys. You got Knox. Knox is about 2 years and a few months old. He comes from Bumper and Luna. Right? And we know Bumper and Luna is both, those was full siblings. So you got Bumper right there representing Louisville. If y'all happen to be in the crowd and y'all wanted to join the live, let me know so y'all can talk even more about your dog, because y'all know your dog's more than me. But I'm just letting y'all know. So you got Bumper coming in. Bumper looked like not Bumper. Knox's looked like he about 90, 93 pounds solid, all muscle. If Knox was a football player, Knox would be he would be Christian McCaffrey. All muscle, super athletic, jumping crazy out the gym, run real fast. So Knox is like Christian McCaffrey up in there. He ain't playing no games and he's serious. Let me see if I can bring up the videos. Let me see if I can bring up the videos. Let me bring up the videos of my boy. Hold on 1 second, guys. Yeah, let me just send it to you so y'all can see for yourself. And then I bring up my boy Vader. Shout out to Vader too. Vader represents. So this is, since he from Kentucky, so this would be Louisville. This would be classic. Hold on, this would be classic. This would be just like the basketball, college basketball. You got the Arkansas Razorbacks versus Louisville Cardinals. So this is gonna be crazy right here. You got Jared representing them, and then you got my boy Razorback. I told Razorback Mike I was doing this, bro. He sent me some stuff. Let me show y'all. This is Knox right here. I'm showing it right now, bro. Hold on, I gotta see. Hold on, let me see. I don't know which one that is. Let me see. Hold on, let me see. Let me see, guys. Let me see. Let me see the videos. Let me see, guys. I'm sorry. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Let me download this one right here so y'all can see it. This is a little scenario right here. And my boy, the Louisville Don. The Louisville Don right here. So we got the Louisville Don. And then I'm going to show you my boy. That's Knox right there. So that's the Louisville Don right there.
So I want to see you slip those pants. Nah, we're good.
Let me. While we doing that, I'm gonna bring up more videos, guys. I'm gonna have to hire somebody soon. I don't know which one you're talking about.
Go from that to the hand. Yeah, keep it up.
Let me show you. So that's one video. I'm gonna bring up some more too. So that's one. So that's Knox right there. Shout out to J.O. right there. So that's that one. And then we got let me bring on, this is Vader right here. Oh, is it backwards? Why is this backwards? Hold on, let me see something. Why is this? I sent the video, but it's showing backwards. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is Vader. It's coming up backwards, guys. Let me see. I don't know how to spin it around. It's always something stupid coming up. It's always something stupid coming up. So this is Yeah, I don't, man, I don't know why his video. Yeah, it's coming in backwards, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's doing that, bro. I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on 1 second. Because it's not doing it on mine. So let me see something. I'm gonna bring up Vader. So yeah, so we got Knox. Like I said, Knox is a little over 2 years old. Vader is a little over 1. Let me see. Vader is almost going on a year and a half. Vader is smaller. Vader is a real serious dog. He conditioned, like I say, he real serious dog. He don't play with people. He don't play with other dogs. He real athletic. So if Knox is Christian McCaffrey, Vader would be let me see. Vader would be like Warwick Dunn. Remember Warwick Dunn? He was smaller, but he could break tackles, he could catch passes, he can do it all. So it'd be like Christian McCaffrey versus Warwick Dunn on this one. Warwick Dunn, Vader is like Warwick Dunn. I'm just trying to see where it's not coming in, and hopefully this one will come through without being crooked. Okay, here we go, guys. Here we go, guys. I'm gonna show you Vader real quick. Here we go. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying everything. Like I said, I might have to. So this is my boy Vader. We got Vader versus Knox, Louisville versus Arkansas. And whatchamacallit told me he don't play with no equipment. He said he don't play with no equipment at all. He don't play no games. He just serious like that. You know what I mean? This is Vader right here, y'all. Check Vader out. Vader is dead serious. Oh, look. He ain't playing with no equipment. Watch how he stick the equipment out, y'all. He's standing right in the pocket, too. Look, boom, he spit the equipment out. He don't play no games, boy. So that's Vader right there, yo. So that's gonna be a classic, yo. The winner get a PS5, yo. Y'all gotta wait till once my sponsors get high, we can go higher. You get a PS5, and you might get a tiny house, then you get a house, and it just get higher though. Oh, first one you sent me on Instagram? Okay, there you go. Yeah. Okay. That's okay. I know who that is. Okay. Batman TNT. Yeah. Shout out to Tony. Yeah, Tony went to smoke too. Yeah. We want that smoke. I told you. Listen, I told you guys. That's TNT Band Dogs, man. Listen, if y'all on Instagram, make sure y'all go follow him. TNT Band Dogs. I told him, I said, my boy Jared, he's Louisville. And I just found out a couple minutes ago that Louisville and Cincinnati was close. TNT Band Dogs is in Cincinnati. So I was like, hey, y'all can set something up. Bearcats versus the Cardinals. Cincinnati versus Louisville. You got Jared with his American Sentinel. And since you got your own Band Dogs, y'all can do double up. Because Jared can also bring Griselda. So that'll be a nice one right there. So shout out to my boy Lamont the Scientist, y'all. Roguewood Project. Oh, so y'all right. I didn't know. I just found that out. Yeah. I didn't know y'all was that close. I was like, wow. I didn't know y'all was that close to each other. So yeah, so that's Vader right there. Let me try to find the other video. You said the first one that you sent me with the arm off. Because that's kind of the first one that I got right there. Let me see. And guys, like I said, we doing these fun competitions, but if I keep talking about it, then it's gone manifest. And like I said, shout out to all my future sponsors. But remember, guys, this is all for steel sharpens steel. These battles and competitions makes everyone better around us. These battles and competitions make everyone around us better. What's going on? What you doing? So these battles make everybody better. So this is a great way to, if you got weaknesses in your thing, you'll get better. Now, the only thing that'll prevent you from, getting better is if you really don't think that you have nothing to improve on. If you already think you better and you can prove and your dogs is perfect, then this ain't probably for you because you already perfect. There's no room for error. But this is the people that want their dogs to get better and better, better, and also their program to get better. And this was it about, and also for us to have fun, you know what I'm saying? And kick it. Because all of us love dogs, even though we got different dogs. All of us coming in with the commonality of the love for dogs, and all of us want dogs, bring hard dogs back. I want the dogs to get better. So these competitions make everything get better. So let me try to find another video of Knox. Let me see the other video of Knox. I'll be getting so many. Okay, let me see. I don't know which one was considered first. I can't. Let me see. Oh, okay. Okay, let me see. Let me see. It's so many. Oh, okay, here we go. So once again, Jo is representing Louisville, home of Muhammad Ali. And if you really be serious, if he from Louisville, it's a thing called 6 degrees of separation. So he really got his blood. 6 degrees of separation is real, y'all. Go look it up. Jared really got the goat blood in his body because I'm sure somebody that knows somebody. Remember, his original name is Cassius Clay. Go research it. So he got the blood. He got the gold blood in his city. Jared got the blood already. 6 degrees of separation in his body. All right, so let me get this one right here. This is the other one for Jared. Let me see. This is Jared again. And then next up we're gonna do my boy Ninja versus Bengasa. Akron versus Chicago. This is man, what's going on with this? It's starting to get too much. Let me delete some of these. Because I'm what I do is I send it to my okay, here we go. So this is the Louisville Don. Oh, snap. Hold on, let's watch that again. Wow. So that was his right hand. What? Knox ain't playing, bro. Listen, that's gonna be a classic right there, bro. I gotta get my money up because I want to give him more than a PS5, bro. I want to at least give him like Mike already got horses and stuff too. Jared already got some land. What would you want for the winner of that one, Jared? We'll get you a little Corvette. Mike looked like he only drive trucks though. But anybody get like a little Corvette though. We get a Corvette. So that's Knox versus Vader. I don't got another protection video, but I'm gonna show you just Vader, because like I say, Vader is like an all-American, bro. He do it all, and that's shout out to his daddy. Shout out to his daddy. Let me see you, Vader, right here. Some of y'all seen it, new to the channel. Make sure y'all smash the thumbs up. Oh, that's your pops. Oh, okay. I see what that is. Okay, so shout out to you, Tony. Okay, I didn't know that was your pops. Okay, shout out to Tony Tubbs. Okay, shout out to he got that blood, but that gov blood. Yeah, that's true too, though. Cincinnati, y'all got one of my favorite prop. Like I'm gonna talk about like boxing, because I love boxing too. Aaron Pryor if you talking about game dogs, Aaron Pryor, if he was a dog, bro. That's the definition. He representing the natty. So you got to give you credit for that. So let me show you Nah, that's for you and your wife, bro. Shout out to you. Shout out to you and your wife, and shout out to your I think you having a son, right? Shout out to your new son. That could be just for you and your son. Shout out to my man Kyle. What's happening? You might as well have a little stingray out there for you and your son to chill. Bengasa bad though, bro. Yeah, and some of the trainers is kind of interloop. I'm gonna introduce it. Let me show you this last one. Let me show you this last one of my boy Vader, so y'all see All-American Vader on this piece. Oh, you having a baby girl? Yeah. So this is for you and your baby girl. Jerry, you can leave the dogs at home with your wife. Shout out to your wife Paige, and y'all can just go out. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like a daughter time. You see having a girl, yeah. So let me see. Let me take this one off. This is my boy Vader. Vader, like I say, Vader's like I said, Vader all-American though. He got animals, he's doing it all. His prediction is crazy, huh? He fight on never listen. He got the African wall ball condition. Look at him. He don't get tired. Any be swimming. My boy Vader, any be swimming too. So that's gonna be an interesting battle right there. Yeah. That's gonna be a click. Y'all gotta put y'all thing up there. Make sure y'all, when the video's over, y'all gotta leave your comment. And also, if there's any dogs that y'all see, remember, guys, I'm the host and the promoter, so you can't have my dogs on here. You know what I mean? That's a conflict of interest. So anybody with some Sentinels, we want the smoke. We having fun. We building up. So that was Vader, and this is how we do it. We do a tournament. You do Vader versus Knox, and the winner face off against Ninja and Bengasa. Let's go. Ninja and Bengasa. So for those who wonder who Bengasa is from the Death Wish litter. Representing Chicago, his handler is Ralphie. Okay? So you got Bengasa with the Death Wish litter from Ranger and Elsa. You see what it is? Ranger and Elsa. So Bengasa is Reaper's full sibling. Reaper was was bred to Congo, but I don't think she took yet. So you got Bengasa. And just so y'all know, if you look at the Vader video, the video of Vader that you just seen, the owner of Bengasa was in that video. Ralphie, he owns Bengasa. So you got Bengasa. It should be coming up on 3 years old. I think the Death Wish litter was September 2023, which ironically was Ranger's first breeding, because Ranger himself, remember, Ranger was a late groomer, but Ranger always had severe dog aggression, where even even when it's time for him to breed in, will be a challenge to breed him. Lee will tell you this himself. I'm not making this up. So with the first litter, you got Elsa. Elsa is amazing. Like I said, she like her mom, producing fire. So you got Bengasa. Let me find a video of Bengasa so y'all can see Bengasa real quick. Just give me a second, guys. Let me show you Bengasa. For those who don't know, Bengasa means vengeance. Yeah. Ninja versus Bengasa. Ninja is really like a ninja. Like, I'm gonna show you. I just gotta find it. Both of them was about to smoke. And remember, guys, this is real street scenarios, real situations that can happen. You know what I mean? So that we want it to be as real as possible. We put a little stuff in there, you know, like a little stuff in there, boom. But we wanted the real life scenarios. I would call it steel versus shield, steel sharpens steel battles. Now this is exclusive American Sentinel. Then we gonna branch off. Shout out to my boy TNT Band Dog. You know what I mean? He want the smoke. We can give him the smoke too. We can do TNT Band Dogs versus American Sentinels. We can do American Sentinels versus whoever. Like, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? We can do American Sentinels versus Pitbulls, American Sentinels versus whatever. Now, once I'm out of it, then I can battle too, because I like to have fun too. I like to battle too. So let me show you guys Bengasa. For those who don't know, Bengasa means vengeance. I'm gonna show you guys Bengasa. Bengasa. Let me see. See why my stuff don't. Let me see. See, it's crazy. They're not like Google. It's crazy they're not like Google, because when you bring them up, it doesn't. That's kind of. Oh, you know what? It doesn't. Maybe I brought it up on my channel, so I gotta type the name on. It should come up because I put them on there before. Okay, here we go. Let me see. I'm gonna show you guys. Let me turn the music off though, because I gotta turn the music off because I gotta turn the music off because they strike me. So here we go. So that's Bengasa. I played some music on there, so they strike me. That's Bengasa right there. Death Wish. I wish I'd have done it without the music, but that's Bengasa right there. Here in Chicago, y'all. That's Bengasa. Bengasa, I think Bengasa and Vader is around the same size, probably about 82 pounds. They're not super big, but they look super athletic. That's his boy. I think that's his boy Ulysses right there. They got a nice team up there that I like the way they operate in Chicago. They serious about their stuff, bro. It's the reason they original like what. So that's Bengasa. You see him leaping. So you see his athleticism. Look, boom, boom. Bengasa, Death Wish litter right there. So that's Bengasa right there. That's Bengasa. Yes, I gotta buy me a chair, y'all. I got one of these cheap chairs. I'll be sliding down. So that's Bengasa right there, representing Chicago. And let me find my boy Aaron. I think he should be in here. My boy Aaron got Ninja. Like I say, Ninja is, just to give you a background, Ninja is Slam and Banshee. So for those who know, and if you really study the pedigrees, even though we about performance over pedigrees, Ninja is Slam Banshee. Okay, Slam was almost 81% Pitbull, and Banshee is full Pitbull. So this is the highest percentage blood you can have, along with the new breeding of Bam Bam and Trinity, which Bam Bam and Trinity is similar, but Bam Bam and Trinity has an extra dose of Frankie Bump. Slam and Banshee only had one dose of Frankie Bump. You get what I'm saying? So Ninja is a silent assassin. He don't really bark, but he really about that action. He don't bark, he really about the action. But this what I'm gonna break down the storyline in this one. What makes this interesting? Ninja's original owner, y'all seen him if you just watched the videos. His original owner was JC the Phenom, Jalen. I call him JC the Phenom, Decoy, Dogman. He was the original owner out of Chicago. So this one is like, it's got the Chicago ties in it, but Aaron is from Akron. So this is Akron versus Chicago. You know a guy from by the name of LeBron James that's from Akron, and you know who represents Chicago. Even though he wasn't born there, you know it's Jordan from Chicago. So it's like LeBron versus Jordan. Let me find the videos of my boy. Let me find the videos of my boy Ninja. Let me see if I can find a boy Ninja right quick. I think I put Ninja on my thing too. I believe I did. I know Lee, actually Lee did. Okay. I know Lee did too. I believe I put him on my channel too. Let me see. Let me find Ninja. Ninja, and he's small. He only like, but the boy is very athletic, like very athletic. Very athletic. So let me see. Let me see. This is Ninja. Let's see. Okay, let me see. Okay, here we go. Let me see if this one got music real quick before I put it up there. Okay, so I can play this one because it doesn't got no music. So this is Ninja right here. Represent Slam Banshee, 90% Pitbull, y'all. He basically like a game. He's basically like a game dog, size wise. He got okay. This one I believe is almost a year ago.
You want me to try the Audi? No. Okay.
He's standing on the bike. Look. And he about that action. And Aaron, and he can condition him too. And the boy like a Malinois. He climbing ladders, y'all. He ain't just no regular athlete. He on some Bo Jackson type shit. He climbing ladders, y'all. He ain't no regular athlete. He climbing ladders, y'all, like the Malinois.
He don't bark.
Like you say, he don't really bark. He no barking, all bite. He no bark, all bite. Look at him. He's standing in the pocket too. Look. Boom. Good. So we got Bengasa versus Ninja. So Bengasa versus Ninja versus Vader versus Knox. And that we'll have to do that on part 2 to see who win that. The winner of that one. Yeah. Let me see. Look, boom. He got heart, bro. You know what I'm saying? That right there, bro. Who the winner of that one? Hey, Aaron like 6'7", so you definitely can't fit in a Corvette. So we had to give you like a the winner of that one. Let me see. The winner of that one get a Range Rover. Yeah. The winner of that one, you think Bengasa? I don't know about that one. That'll be tough, man. I wish, like I say, it's other videos out there, but Bengasa too, like that's 50-50 right there. Akron versus Chicago. The winner of this one, Aaron kind of tall. He probably need like a Range Rover. Yeah, we get like a Range Rover to the winner of this one. Yeah, winner of that one get a Range Rover. Yeah, that's what, yeah. No, this is, yeah, we know so. Yeah, it's no disrespect. Yeah, you can say your opinion. And we not so. Listen, we not soft over here. We not catching feelings. And You don't got if whoever you think win, that's whoever you think win. You don't gotta say none of that because we not part of that. We not part of that environment that's worried about what people think and we so sensitive. We not part of that. We bringing the hard dogs back, and this is real competition. So the purpose of these competitions is not just the dogs too, it's for the humans to become harder and tougher mentally. So that way the dogs is because the dogs is the reflection of the people. Yeah. He is bigger. Yeah, he is bigger. He is bigger than him. He about, I think Ralphie told me he about 82 pounds and Ninja probably like 55. So he got him by almost 30 pounds. So that will make a difference. But I haven't took no bites from him. So it's more to it than size. Now, also too, if this was hog hunting, you would probably say, okay, because he is bigger. If they both got the same, then the bigger 30 pounds will allow you to do the hugs. But this is dealing with people, real life situations. You know what I'm saying? Bengasa, I didn't really hear Bengasa. I had to talk to Ralphie. I didn't really hear both of Bengasa. I don't really think bark a lot neither. So that'd be really that's gonna make it even real interesting. I gotta see. You want to send the link? Okay, I got you. We got Lee coming up. Yeah, we about to get it popping, y'all. We about to get it pop. I told y'all this is part 1, y'all. Let's get it popping. Yeah. We about to get it popping, Ninja. And then I want to see, like I say, I want to see who else I want to see? Who else I want to see? Lee about to jump on. Give us your thoughts, man. We about to get it started. I only been on here for 52 minutes. My name is this is Jaguar the Band Dog. My personal name is Jalik the Student. You can find me everywhere. And I've been purposely putting more videos out on Instagram because I stopped. But I noticed, say people pay attention. Let's wait for Lee to come on. It's Lee, what's happening?
Can you hear me?
Lee, where you at? Where you at, Lee? You in that shed?
I'm in the kennel.
You in the kennel? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't have I was trying to get my light to work, but it ain't working. I got to come back to the kennel. I'm gonna go get my hat light. Can you hear me okay though?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm just finishing up the work for the
Lee, we started off with Ranger versus Cobalt. We talking about real street life, real street protection scenarios. Who you think will win? Be honest, Lee. I know you're gonna be honest though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking. It's not that about dishonesty. I'm just thinking. It kind of, and I don't know. I would be lying if I guessed. I just don't know.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this when it comes to other programs. This is what I wanted to come in for. When it comes to people like Keaton Temple or Ryan at Deep South Sentinels or anybody else, I don't want to personally ever compare my program to them because I'm blessed to have other people get on board. And I don't want to ever feel like anybody that gets into the American Sentinel program has to compete with me or me compete with them. Because it's like 5 players on a basketball team. We're supposed to work together. And that's what I'm really about. Right. So, if we have, like if I see a dog somewhere and I don't like it, I'll tell that person. Or if I do like it, I'll tell that person. I hate it when people contact me and say, hey, what do you think about this breeding from someone else's program? Because I don't like to do that because you're asking me to either shoot them in the foot or shoot myself in the foot. And I don't want to operate that way. I think people need to do the research. But back to Cobalt and Ranger, I really don't know. I mean, they're both really good dogs. Ranger is of course bigger. They're both of them have pain tolerance through the roof. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen either one of them hurt. I have seen Cobalt whimper one time. I forgot it. What did it happen? One time. What the hell happened? I think he whimpered because of me, actually. So that doesn't count. I think it was me because he was, they'll show submission to their owner. Uh, I don't know. They're both tough as nails. I mean, uh, Cobalt. He's been tested. He's been tested and he's tough. Ranger's been tested too and he's tough. The But that's what I really didn't even come on here for that. I've been on the. My brother called me. Y'all know that we lost my mama last Thursday, and her funeral was Saturday. And even though I was listening, my brother is kind of having a hard time with it. So he called me, and I was talking to him, and I missed most of the podcast. So when I got off the phone with him, I wanted to come in and tell you that I'm grateful, very grateful. I consider myself blessed to have so many people interested in the American Sentinel. It's been a lot of hard work to get here, but at the same time, I really appreciate all of them. And you're not going to hear me saying anything bad about anybody's dog. If they have a dog that I don't like, I'll tell them, and then they can do what they with it as they wish.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you're an honorable guy. That makes sense.
You know, they'll know what I think. They'll know what I think because that's for the program. You know. And hopefully they'll be honest about it. I've always been honest with like Hair Trigger, great producer, but cowhocked really bad. Didn't have the look that I like, but very athletic and a really good producer. Scratch was a great producer, so I got a dog off a Hair Trigger and a Scratch, and I let her go. And my dog off a Hair Trigger and a Scratch is really a nice dog, but she's not very big. I wish she got bigger. I think the one that Ryan got back is going to be bigger than her and probably just as nice, maybe nicer. I don't know. My bitch is nice, but his is going to be bigger.
How big you think she's going to be?
The one I got is probably going to be about the same size as Makita. I would say 65 pounds.
I don't know what. Maybe I'm. I don't see how my dogs be getting so much bigger. I gotta start. I don't know why. Then.
Well, I mean, look at the Pitbull influence on that breeding. You know, Hair Trigger was off of Lucky 7 and Onyx, and Lucky 7 produces good size, but Danger's not as big either. Danger's like 80 pounds or something, but he's also 75% Pitbull.
Yeah.
So when you run that kind of percentage of Pitbull, you're going to give up some size. That's just the way it works. You can get anomalies like Wrecker.
Yeah. Wrecker.
Wrecker was 62.5%. He weighed about 127 pounds, but that's an anomaly, and you can try to build off those anomalies. And occasionally you'll find a line that'll produce big. Like we went from Chief to Boss to Wrecker to Widow. We got some big dogs down from that, but eventually that percentage of Pitbull is going to catch up with you.
Yeah. Okay.
And especially when you're selecting for performance and not size. Because, if I want to keep man aggression, you talked about man aggression being lost with Pitbulls. And as long as you're selecting for the ability to do man work, you sometimes have to put other factors to the side because what's the purpose? I'm not trying to produce a big pet. I'm trying to produce a family companion guardian, adaptable dog that can do hog catch. The adaptability is the most important trait. I mean, I'm out here. This is a lot of work, man. It's 8:30, 8:40 at night, and I'm out here in a kennel still, covered in sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is no, a lot of my relatives, when my mother passed, they got bereavement. There is no bereavement with these dogs. They still depend on you.
That's facts.
That's why I have a ton of respect for people that get into this and they do their work. Ryan's doing his work. Keaton does his work. So props to him. Sometimes the dog doesn't stay around because it's a lot of work. That doesn't mean they can't be a producer, but maybe you have another dog that's just as good a producer and a better phenotype or something like that.
Right. Yeah. So it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into breeding. Like I said, shout out to all the breeders. That's a tough situation. You know what I mean? You got to deal with different clients with different personalities. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Can y'all see me now?
Yeah, I can see you. Yeah. So Lee, I know you got some exclusive information that you got to give Jaguar the band though. What you got coming on? Because all your breedings is done, right? You done?
No, no exclusive information. Here you go, right here. Look here.
Okay.
All right. Let me. I don't know if I can flip this. So I'm gonna turn my camera. You
Okay.
know who that is?
Um, that's
Hey, girl.
Benji.
No,
That's Elsa.
that's Elsa. She's fixing to drop. Going to be having babies in there.
Ah, so who's the sire?
We bred her to Chicago. You know that.
Yeah. So you got the double halo breeding with that one.
Yep.
Okay.
And she didn't eat her food tonight, so she's going to be dropping probably tonight or tomorrow.
So there you go, exclusive, y'all. Congo and Elsa. Elsa
Yep.
is the mother of Bengasa, and she's also the mother of one of Lee's. What's the dog? What's the dog name that's by Slam and Elsa? You call him You got a male.
Yeah. I call him Rebar.
Rebar.
And she's also the mother of Reaper, Ranger, and Elsa.
Yep.
Now here's some of the Bam Bam pups. She has 11, but we got 9 of them right here. There was 2 runts, so I left the 2 runts with the mother so they could get some more nutrition. But these 9 are already weaned. We're going to do their tails tomorrow. You know, a lot of people talk about doing the tails at day 3. You find anybody on this planet that has cropped a 1,500 dog's tails and then have them talk to me. I want to see what they say. Because I have learned that if you do them early, like with a newborn baby, the first few days they lose weight, and so I don't like to do them until they're big enough to be gaining weight, and even then I prefer them crapping out of the doghouse because I don't want them in the doghouse. Those are the 2 runts. Look how much this one's looking good, man. This one's looking real good. This one here's the other runt. But I don't want to crop the tails until they're gaining weight and getting out of the doghouse because I don't want a wound around fecal matter. And I need to go back and change my review on that because I've been doing this I've been docking tails at 4 weeks now for 15 years, and it works better. It works so much better. I think sometimes people that give advice, they just repeat what they heard and they never did it.
Oh, they say, so they saying do it at, so you saying not three days, okay.
Yeah, wait till if you wait till they're gaining weight and then they're still in the doghouse, now they're eating a lot. And when they eat a lot, they crap a lot and they pee a lot. So you don't want a wound in fecal and urine. So you have to wait until they're big enough to climb out the doghouse and they're still gaining weight. And if you do the thing is, you just want to make sure you go between the bones. If you go on the bone, yeah, it's going to hurt them. If you go between the bones, they don't even holler. I got it on video. One of our mutual friends was giving me a hard time about it. He said, Lee, that's terrible. That hurts them. So I sent him 2 videos of me cropping some a puppy's tails back to back, just like cropping the tails. None of them yelled. He couldn't believe it. He said he's never seen it before. He just always heard that it was painful. None of them hollered. It's so easy. You put a rubber band on the tail at the position. You cut the skin around the tail. Then you go between the bone a little bit short, like you make a V notch. So it's hard to. So let's say that this is the tail. And here's the tail, and here's the end of the tail. If I'm going to dock it right here, cut the tail like this. So it's got a V. So the bone is shorter than the skin. That way I can fold the skin over the bone and staple it shut. But it's still got a rubber band also to get off the circulation. And they don't even holler, dude. You can. I put down goat milk and kibble.
Yeah.
Pick them up, and I pick them up, and we just dock them while they're eating. And then you set them down, and they go right back to feeding. They don't even miss a beat. And the mortality rate, see, if you let's say you dock it on day 3 and the puppy's lost a little weight, just like a human being, they lose a little weight the first couple of days. Now you're adding stress to an animal that's lost weight. And the reason they lose weight is because the mother is not producing much milk those first couple of days. She's mostly producing colostrum, which is antibiotics.
Yeah.
And so you wait until the milk production goes up, and then you could dock them as soon as they were gaining weight. If you were like, let's say, keeping them in let's say you had them in a plastic crate with one of those bed pads in there, and then you were changing the bed pad like every few hours to make sure it was super sterile. Then yeah, you could do it. But if you got them in a doghouse and you're washing the doghouse out once a day, then that means they're going to get poop and fecal matter on there. It's going to scab over really nasty. It's just better to just wait until they're older, and then it comes out so much cleaner.
Right.
Yeah.
So Lee,
Yep.
when you was creating this dog, was there any thought in your mind where you was gonna have regular tails? What made you make the decision? Like, you know what? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I love it. Because I don't like the tails where it's no tail and the long tails be like. So the way you got it, I actually like it. But I know some people like the regular tail. So what made you? Yeah.
I always liked like the bird dogs that have a mid-length crop.
Okay.
I like a mid-length crop, and sometimes I've noticed that when you crop a tail, it kind of stunts the tail's growth. So when I was cropping them mid-length, they were coming out really anywhere from a fourth to a third. So now I crop them at about 5/8. I crop them a little bit more than halfway, and then when they get done growing, they're about halfway and a half length. And I like that because it's long enough for the body language where I can see what the dog is thinking. It's long enough for them to communicate and express joy and submission and dominance and things like that. But they're not going to get any of the negatives of like what's called the male tail. I don't know if you ever heard of male tail, but
I never heard of that.
all right. So you know how a mailman sends messages, right? Well, that's what the tail is doing, is sending messages, pop, 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 and they're in a crate. Well, in the wilds, they're not hitting doorways, they're not hitting hallways, they're not hitting car doors, they're not in a crate going thunk, 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 thunk. You ever put a dog in a crate that's got a long tail, like a Pitbull especially, is and I'll pull him out. When we went to the ADBA dog show, Jack Knife was slinging blood because the end of his tail was hitting the crate the whole time when he was in the crate. Just doom, 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 doom.
Wow. Okay.
And so when you, because they're sending those messages, male tail, I think that's what it's referring to, is sending messages. But I don't think it's MALE. I think it's MAIL, because females get it too. And they, the end of the tail will get all bloody. Frankie Bob, when I got him, I had some pictures of him somewhere when he was laying on the floor with Caroline, and we had bandages on the end of his tail because he was always thumping during the transport. And when he got here, the end of his tail, the last 3 inches of his tail was all busted open from slapping against the cage during the transport. So, having a half-length dock, I have all the communication of it, but I eliminate two things. I eliminate injuries from male tail or getting run over by a car or something slammed in a car door or something like that. And I also eliminates the likelihood of an attacker. Let's say you get attacked by two people. The dog's fighting one person, and then the other person comes up and grabs the dog back legs or tail. Well, when they have a short tail, it's going to be harder to grab. Right. So it just, there's so many reasons why working dogs throughout history have had cropped tails. A lot of the hound dogs or the bird dogs, they crop tails because through the woods and the bushes, the tail would hit so many things that it would be bloody at the end. So, it makes so much reason. And as far as the balance goes, that might make a difference for a high-speed coursing animal like a cheetah that has to turn going 60 miles an hour. But for ambush predators like bobcat and lynx, they have a short tail. And the pit bull is more of an ambush predator. They're not a high-speed courser. They're not running 40 miles an hour. Their top speed's about 30 miles an hour. And when they're fighting, they're twisting and turning and things like that. It's not straight full speed. So if you look at the greatest American Pit Bull Terrier ever as far as titles go, you have Golden King's Champion Silver. He's the only pit bull in history that defeated 3 grand champions, which is a 5-time winner, and he beat a champion, which is a 4-time winner. There's never been another dog in history that has defeated 3 grand champions and a champion. And Golden King's Champion Silver was a Sorrells dog that had a bobtail. So, I'm not saying the bobtail made him a winner, but I will say it didn't hurt him any. You can't have that kind of success with a handicap.
Right. Yeah.
You have to be optimized.
Yeah. So you got the exclusive. You got the exclusive on the. You got the Congo and the Elsa. Any other? That's all your breedings. What's up with my homegirl Nova? Is she going in the Ranger?
She's doing good. He sent me some pictures today. She's doing real good with her pups.
Oh, so
She's
she
at
had
Keaton,
the pup.
yeah, she's at Keaton's place, Keaton Temple's place.
Oh, so Ranger and Nova did have the puppies. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
she got a mess load of them.
Because you had it on the website. So she got a multiple amounts. So that's going to be
Yeah.
for those who wonder, that's the double freaky bump, y'all. So yeah.
Yeah. She just had them, and I haven't been updating the website because of the family business stuff, with
Right.
my mom. But yeah, I need to update that.
So you will be having some of those for the public.
Yeah,
Right?
we will. We got a bunch of them, and I got a nice female off of Bumper and Kimura that we had sold, and the guy contacted me today.
You kept
Well,
the black female?
Well, let me explain. So we sold 2, and the guy that was supposed to get the second one contacted me today and asked me if I could keep it until the 20th. And I said, I can, but I can't do it any longer than that. And he goes, well, when were they supposed to be picked up? I said, they were supposed to be picked up at 8 weeks of age, but I'm trying to work with you and be polite and understanding. And so he said, well, let me see if I can get out there the 20th. And he contacted me and said, I'm going to come tomorrow or Thursday. And then he sent me a message today. He says, I'm trying to force it and make it happen. And it's really just not the right time. You can keep the money and do what you need to do with the dog. And I told him, well, if you're going to be so cooperative and nice, then I'm going to give you a dog later on whenever you're ready. So, he just came straight up clean. I didn't have to argue with him. He was really clear, real
So shout out
cut and dry, easy to work with. I just try to return the favor and say, I'll give you a dog in the future. And so I might keep her. I've got her ears scheduled for cropping on Friday. I might cancel. I don't know. But my daughter and I worked her.
Yeah, because let me explain to the people that's watching, guys. My boy BJ the farmer was going to get her. He was going back and forth. He wasn't sure. He was telling me, he's like, I made my decision. I'm going to get the dark one. So that's the one that Lee has right now. My boy BJ the farmer was going to get her. And you see what happened now. And Lee got it. So if y'all looking for some smoke, because BJ the farmer said his girl is super nice. He just got her a couple days ago. So I don't look. Lee, you gonna pay that bag though. Lee,
they're both.
You gonna sell her for 5,000? She 5,000, bro. And she bro, she bad.
No, we'll sell her for 2,400 because that's 2,000 for the dog and 400 for the ear crop.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm surprised he's selling it for that, but yeah, that's Lee. Lee ain't trying to get over on you. That dog right there is serious, right there.
She's nice. I like her. I might keep her. I'm not 100% sure.
And she looked like she had nice size though. So yeah, Bumper is a great producer. And you got Kimura, which is that 90%, 90%, so that 70% Pitbull. You better go talk to Lee, guys. And then you got the Ranger and Nova, and then you got Reaper. Not Reaper. You got Congo and Elsa. So that's all your breed. That's it right there for your breedings after Ranger and Nova, Lee?
No, we just bred, as far as Sentinels go, yeah, but we just bred Bam Bam to Banshee.
Oh, yeah. That's that one right there. Yeah. Bam Bam and Banshee.
Yep. Yeah. And the only thing about the Boomer Kimura dog that's not perfect is
Bumper.
Yeah, Bumper and Kimura. She's very athletic because she's a little bit racy, but she's not skinny. She's just not, muscular like Cobalt or Ranger. She's built more like Bumper.
Oh yeah, that's cool with me. Yeah,
Yep. She's nice.
Yeah. So she might grow too. So yeah, and then she got the nice dries. I like her color. Yeah. So
her color. Her coat is perfect. She's got the prettiest coat. It's like silk.
Oh yeah, I like my BJ. That's BJ the farmer right there. He switched at the last minute, but both of them was even too. So I think the one you got, Lee, is bigger than the one he got though. But he don't care about the size like that. So he wasn't getting her. He just got the one. So yeah. So jump on that right there. So that's the exclusive information, guys. No more Sentinel breedings after Ranger and Nova. So you got to wait to 2027. And maybe are you going to breed my boy Cobalt? next year?
Oh, I'll probably breed him several times next year. Cobalt's a nice dog. He produced good. And I'm sure we'll have some more Sentinel breedings this year. I just don't know.
Oh, I thought okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ninja sister. Yeah. Kimura. Yeah.
Yep.
Or yeah.
And hey, props to I don't remember his name, the avatar or his alias. He had a dog for me like 15 years ago off of Blue Jean. He said, I was watching the podcast.
Yeah, that's BJ the historian. Yeah.
Yeah, the historian, what is it, sinologist or something?
Yeah.
The dog studying. That guy who was a real smart fella. I'd like to talk to him myself.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, you hear that, Brian? Make sure you reach out to Lee. Reach out to Lee. Yeah. So I appreciate that information. So now we got to get back to the battles, Lee. We want to do Bumper. Tell us a little bit more about Bumper for those who don't know. We want to do Bumper versus Danger. They both got high prey drive. One got the extra Pitbull blood. Bumper is bigger. You said Bumper. You said Scratch was your favorite, right?
Yeah, Scratch was my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from either, but they have different phenotypes. So Danger's going to be, in my opinion, the better looking dog. Okay. Bumper's the bigger dog. Bumper has win for days. Danger's a great producer. Bumper seems to be a good producer. He's only been bred a few times. You've probably been hounding on me about that one, like breed Bumper more. But I like what I see off of him and Kimura. They're both good. When it comes to a program, I look at the population genetics more than the individual genetics. But if I see an individual that's lacking, then they got to go. But as far as Danger and Bumper go, they both qualify. They're both good dogs. Yeah, I like Danger. Danger produced really good when I bred him to Trinity. Him and Maggie ought to be stone cold. That would be great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that progress. And so whoever got a puppy off of the Danger and the Maggie, whoever got that one. So we look forward to seeing their development right there. And you got the Pitbull, bling. So y'all heard it from Lee. He got the we as far as the battles, we done what we done. We done Bumper versus Danger, we done Ranger versus Cobalt, we done who we said Maggie versus Elsa.
Yeah, you're comparing like comparing Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, and what's the other guy? There's a trilogy, the three of them together.
Joe Frazier.
Yeah, I mean, one might win one day, and the other one might win another day.
For this is for like street, like what was it? K Down Sports didn't rest in peace. Bush Capel wasn't he kind of geared towards like real life situations? So this is what it would be like, real life situations, and see who will come out on top. Yeah. I'm not going to comment because that's unfair. It's not in my place to comment. Yeah.
But they're both good. You're not doing wrong getting a dog off of either one of them.
Right. We just like
that's like asking Michael Jordan who's the best basketball player of all time. I mean, you don't ask him, you ask somebody else.
Yeah. We want to know like you're because you're around the dog, so we just seeing them on TV. So you might say, oh, this person is, you see their sizes. We just looking at from TV, so you more got it. You know what I'm saying? And you know their personalities more than we do. So
yeah, but the problem, like the other thing is, who knows what tomorrow will bring? You know, one of the things I like from Madison Parker is he said you can prove yourself today, but tomorrow you're just another junkyard dog. You got to prove yourself again and again and again every day, because things can change. You know, Joe Frazier might win this time and lose next time.
Do you think? I got a question for you, Lee. Do you think humans is grading dogs on a different scale than they grade humans? Is the scale kind of unrealistic? Because a lot of times, let me say for Lee, you right? Gameness is about having determination and never giving up, right? Say if I'm sure when you first started, you might have got frustrated. You might have got say, man, but you stuck with it. So you got the gameness to see your vision of the American Sentinel, even seeing continuing. But then a lot of times people will judge a dog and be like, they something this one, system this one, and they say they not game. But they themselves might have quit. They might have quit at the first sign of defeat when they started their own business. So the way we judge animals is different than the way we judge humans. What's your thoughts on that?
Sorry, it's dinner time, but
yeah,
the hardest fight that you can have, I'm talking about in theory here, is going to be the pound for pound same body weight. And so, again, I'm gonna get to your question here in a minute.
Yeah.
But if I was to fight, and I'm not a fighter, right? I'm 56-year-old out of shape man. But if I was to fight another 57 now. If I was to fight another 57-year-old out of shape man with my same exact abilities, we would be going back trading blows, tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat. I'm always right there on the verge of winning, which keeps me within the realm of hope. And because I am in the realm of hope, I can take a serious beating because the beating is not overwhelming. I'm fighting myself. And I'm always right there on the edge. Well, they did an experiment with mice. You can look it up. And they put mice in a bucket with like 4 inches of water or 6 inches of water or whatever it was. And they left the mice alone. And all of the mice drowned in like, I don't know, it was like 5 minutes or something like that. They all drowned. And then they repeated the experiment, but then right before they drowned, they reached down and picked up the mice, let them rescue, catch their breath, and put them back in the jar, the bucket of water. And then they swam for hours, like 6 hours or 12 hours. And the reason they did the difference, they concluded the difference was because the first mice had no hope and the second group of mice did. And so the reason why I mention that is if I was to fight Mike Tyson and get racked in the jaw, it would be so overwhelming that I would lose all hope and I'd give up real quick. But if I fought myself, I could display a high level of gameness. And so what people don't understand is gameness has just as much to do with hope as it does anything else. In fact, I would say hope and the ability to breathe are probably the two biggest factors. When an animal knows it cannot win, when it knows, I'm not talking about thinks it can't win. I'm talking about when that animal knows it cannot win, very few individuals are going to be that level of game. You know, those individuals that still want to go, in fact, that never happens with a true game dog. A true game dog always thinks it can win. It always has hope. Even if it can't win, it always has that hope. That's what they're trying to do, is trying to win. They're trying to impose their will and trying to win. So, you know, it's hard to take hope out of a game dog. But my reason why I mention this is, let's go back to your question. If they are fighting a bear and they're going back over and over and over again, and it's hot out, and they already ran 5 miles before they found the bear, and then they get hammered really hard and they go flying, and they get up with a broken leg and they run right back in. That's a higher degree of gameness than a.
Your phone, it's frozen up, Lee. Lee, you frozen. Your internet. We gotta wait for Lee. We got the exclusive on there. We gonna wait till Lee get back. Ranger and Nova Puppies is on the ground.
Can you hear me?
Nah, your phone was frozen up.
No, I had a call come in. Let me put it on do not disturb. I hope this doesn't kick you off. Does this kick you off? Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
All right, good, cool.
So you said something about the bear.
Yeah. So the bear knocked you. Let's say you were hunting a hog. Like we saw this one guy had a.
Yeah, your thing is frozen, Lee. We'll wait till Lee come back on. I appreciate y'all. Y'all could be doing anything else, but we got 13 people here. I remember my channel ain't have like 2 people working. So in the near future, we'll have 23, 33, 43, 50, 63, 73, 83, 93.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's okay. I can hear you now. What's going on? We'll let the Lee get back on. So while Lee's getting back on, let's see. You there, Lee?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Sorry, I may have to go soon. My brother's calling me back again, and like I said, he's having a hard time with the loss of my mother. But
No, that's good. I understand.
But you know, we had this one guy that had a sentinel that the dog crossed a frozen river, and weren't able to follow the hog and the dog because it crossed a frozen river, and they couldn't go across because actually it wasn't a frozen river; it was ice water in the middle of. It was below freezing, but the river hadn't froze yet. So if you went in the water and you got out, you were going to get hypothermia. And the dog crossed the river, and the hunters weren't able to get to it. So they had to drive around. It took them almost an hour to get there. And by the time they got there, the dog was still fighting the hog, and the hog was almost dead, and the dog had a really good deep throat on the hog. They stabbed the hog, and it was so close to death that it did hardly even responded, and the dog was still in hold. That, in some ways, even though that doesn't typically happen in a hog hunt, 95% of hog hunts are not a game test. I would say that particular hunt, though, was a pretty good game test. It ran a long ways, and then after it ran a long ways, it fought a long time, and it had to do it in extenuating circumstances. So it was an unusual test. That's harder. It's like going uphill. You're fighting a bigger dog usually is a bad idea. Everybody condemns it because the odds of losing. And so, I don't dogfight, of course, but when you see a dog that displays a high degree of determination, gameness is not an on or an off. It's a rheostat. It's a dial. It comes in degrees. And Gary Hammonds wrote about degrees of gameness back in the 80s. So for people to talk about degrees of gameness as if it's a controversial topic, I mean, you can look at history. It's been talked about by pretty much most of the dogmen would say gameness comes in degrees. Pat Patrick and I have spoken about it a number of times, and he definitely believed gameness comes in degrees. So, I saw Scratch get accidentally knocked out. When he came to, he wanted to go back to it. So that to me was a high degree of gameness because he had overwhelming force and it didn't phase him. He didn't lose hope.
Right. Oh.
It was an accident, but still, it happened.
So do you think personally humans themselves grade dogs on a scale that they don't grade themselves on personally?
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that I liked about, is it BJ or Brian?
BJ the historian. BJ.
Yeah, I really appreciated BJ saying
Brian.
you don't.
The former. You talking about Brian the historian? No, Brian is the one you talking about. Yeah.
I'm talking about the sinologist.
Yeah, that's Brian. Yeah, that's
Or
Brian.
sinologist, however you say it. You asked him about blaming the dog or blaming the handler, and he said, "Well, why do you blame the dog for the genetics you have?" One of the things it took, I thought it took you. I think you got it, but his point was you don't blame the dog for its genetics. You blame the breeder for the genetics, and you blame the handler for the training, and you blame the trainer for the training. But you don't blame the dog for that. The dog is a piece of clay. You don't get mad at a piece of clay because you didn't put the water in it, or you don't get mad at the concrete because you didn't put the lime and the rock and the water in it. You have to the breeder to put the right components in there, and it's up to the trainer and handler to condition that dog and train that dog correctly. And I see people that make mistakes. They're too heavy on the dog, and then they blame the dog when they should blame themselves.
So I agree with that. Humans do great dogs on a different scale as humans,
How many times do you hear humans say, "Well, I have this problem in my life, and it's because of so and so. It's your fault I did this, or it's your fault I did that, or it's your fault I did this." they don't accept responsibility for their own lives. You know, they all have an excuse. Well, you know, Bert Sorrell said the difference between excuses and allowances is allowances are made for winners and excuses are made for losers. So when a dog loses, don't make excuses for it. But if a dog wins, you can allow something you don't like. Like let's for example, Hair Trigger. Hair Trigger was athletic. I didn't like her cowhawk, but she was athletic, so I allowed it. So even though I didn't like it, she wins in the athletic department. She wins in the stamina department. She wins in the ability to produce. So even though I don't like her being severely cowhawked, it didn't hurt her. So she's got something else going on that's bringing to the table. So
Right.
we'll allow something we don't like if it wins. But if you have something that, like, let's say you have a dog with a perfect structure, but it loses, that's the American Bully. That's the Amstaff. I don't want that. It loses. I don't care how good looking it is. It loses. I like a good looking dog, but I ain't gonna breed a loser.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So it's like a balance thing. You gotta accept certain things because no, like you said, no dog is perfect.
Right.
Every dog
Look,
has weaknesses.
you know, so there's some people out there that didn't like Congo because Congo had never been anywhere. The difference is I know what's on him and I know what's on me. So I said, look, I mean, you were there, I think, when I said, hey, let's put some heat on him and see how he does under the pressure. And when they
Yeah.
put the heat on him, he was like, boom. So his problem wasn't about combat. His problem was, I've never been anywhere before. Well, that's my fault. That ain't his fault. I ain't blaming the dog for that. I blame myself for that. So, but let's see how he does under pressure. Let's see when he's put under pressure, is he clear in the mind or does he want to get out of there? And he said, no, let's go. When he was pressured, he said, let's go. So I was like, good. Now next time I've got to do my job, get him to his potential.
Makes sense. Makes
That's
sense.
my opinion.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Lee. So when you analyzing a dog, right? Of course, size doesn't matter to you. You don't want them too small, and you prefer them not to be too big. Well, when explain to the people that's listening what you're looking for in a dog that you feel like is able to produce and stay on your yard. Just break that down for the people.
I'm trying to figure out how to make this full screen here, if I can.
You full screen?
No, I can barely see it. I can't see I guess I don't need to see the words. It's okay. So what's your question?
So what are you looking for? Explain to the people as a breeder what you're looking for when you evaluating a puppy to make sure that they can breed can pass on their genes. Explain to the people there.
Yeah, I like a dog that's got good nerves. I like a dog that has good grip. I like a dog that doesn't start trouble, but if trouble comes his way, he says, I will impose my will. I'm looking for the Rocky Balboa mindset, the one that says, I don't care to fight you just because I'm mad at you. I'll control my temper. But if you want to fight, I'm ready to go. You know,
Okay.
if you insist on doing this, I'm about this life. You know, my ring's right here, and I'm good to go. I like that kind of mentality where an animal is not a bully, not one that starts trouble. Now, sometimes you need a dog that's willing to start trouble. Like if you want a century dog, you want a dog that says, "Hey, I'm going to go just because you're here." But that's more territorial or asset or resource guarding, which is not just, you know, Preacher Man was kind of a trouble fighter, a troublemaker. But the problem with troublemakers is a lot of troublemakers are bullies. They'll quit when they get hit back. And that Preacher Man was not a bully. He was about that life. You know, he may have been a troublemaker, but he was also about that life. And so, you know, I like a dog that says, I don't necessarily have to start it. I might start it, but I might not start it. But regardless of whether I started it or not, I'm glad to be here if trouble comes this way. But at the same time, stable with the family. That's what I like.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, on your Sentinel and the Pitbull litters, how early on can you say, you know what, this dog is going to have extreme dog aggression? How early can you usually start to see that?
Oh, you can see that. It depends on the dog. I mean, sometimes it'll show up at 6 weeks, and sometimes it won't show up until a year. But I've seen it at 6 weeks before.
Rest in peace, Lady Smith. You said Lady Smith was dog aggressive, right?
Very dog aggressive, yeah.
Was she showing that early?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I looked at a video. I was like, you can kind of tell. I guessed that was Lady Smith based on. I was like, oh, that probably is Lady Smith right there. The way she acted. It was a video you had of that litter. I was like, that's probably Lady Smith right there. The way her personality was.
And Chewy is dog aggressive, but I've been working on her because we're bringing in the next prospects. I got some young prospects that we're working with, and I'm introducing Chewy to the prospects to make a house dog out of her. So right now, out of them, so we can have Chewy with another playmate. So I've been introducing her to Apex and also to
Rebar?
No, not Well, we wanted to do Rebar, but Rebar is so big that I'd have to train both Rebar and Chewy. So working with Apex, who's my puppy off of Boomer and Onyx, and then I also have a dog named. Give me a second. I just named him today. What did I name him? No, I'll tell you in just a second.
Apex look nice.
Apex is very nice.
Onyx, yeah, I like them.
Yeah. I'll tell you are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm still here. The screen is
all right, perfect. Yeah, I got to look up the dog's name. I came up with a name. I searched up Kimura because he's Kimura's son, and I was trying to find other.
You kept a male too, so you got a male and a female from Bumper and Kimura. Okay.
Yeah, I got a male. So the male's name is Barato, Barato, which is Barato. It's a version of the Kimura where you do an arm bar a different way. So, or not an arm bar, but it's like it's a way of dislocating the shoulder a different way. It's still related to the arm bar, but you're doing it kind of with your legs and your hips instead of with your arm. And so it's called the burrito. I think it's, what did I say? Burrito. That's Barato. So I wanted to keep that MMA theme, and I thought Barato sounds pretty cool. It kind of sounds like a masculine name, and it's named after an MMA fighter, Barato. So that's what we're going to name him, and he is nice, really, really nice.
Bumper Kimura? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, my Bumper Kimura male.
His physique is different than his sister that you have.
He's very similar to her, but a little bit more masculine, being a male. Then we had a really beautiful pup, built like a brick house that went out to California today. Britton carried it out there for the client.
Yeah, shout out to Britton. Yeah.
Yep. And then that was at 4:00 this morning. So, but Barato is he's like Apex, but on crack. That dog's wired.
I told you Bumper would be producing, League. I told you, man.
Yeah.
I told you, bro. And shout out to Kyle. He got Bumper and Demore. He in Florida. He got Bumper and Dolly.
Yeah.
In Cyprus, right? Yeah. So
yeah, that's a good. I'm gonna do that again. I like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to pup off that so bad, but we ended up having somebody get my pup.
Yeah. So that'll be good. So
when I'm at max capacity, it's hard to keep all of them that I like.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yep. It's hard. I don't want to sell the pit bulls, but I got to have the room. And then I'm like, well, which one do I sell? Because the pit bull program that I have, it's an Apex program, man. I know I sound like a braggart, and hopefully people know me well enough to know that I don't want to be a braggart, but I don't know of a better pit bull program in the country, to be honest with you.
Wow.
And
here we go, Lee. 2027, we can have this in Atlanta, Georgia. Lee Robinson's pit bull program versus Tom Garner. There you go. He's got like 200 or 300 dogs, but it's
about
quality, not quality. So we get the best,
the best of the best. Let's bring it.
Tom Garner, yeah.
Yeah.
I like to see that one, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd mollywop him.
So what bloodline is Tom Garner?
I have respect for Tom Garner. He's an accomplished dog man. He's educated. He knows his business. He's a good breeder. But I think the Sorrells dogs are vastly superior to the Garner dogs, to be honest with you.
That'd be a nice one right there. I like to see that. I like to see that. So the Garner, what's the lines? Because I'm not. I just know the guy. I just heard about him because I'm not. I don't know.
Well, Garner's based off a lot of Boudreaux stuff, you know. It goes back to a lot of that.
Oh, okay. So Boudreaux, okay. Is Boudreaux and Eli the same thing?
Well, Eli was a dog. Boudreaux's a man.
Yeah, Boudreaux. Rest in peace to him. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Boudreaux stuff. Oh, okay. So I thought the Eli stuff and the Boudreaux stuff was kind of similar.
Well, Eli, that was Boudreaux's Eli.
Oh, okay.
That was the man.
Okay, yeah.
Like saying that's like saying ASC is Scratch. So ASC is me and Scratch is a dog. Eli was the dog. Boudreaux was the man that produced Eli.
Oh, he has multiple lines. So he got Chinaman. Okay, Chinaman. One day I gotta have a Pitbull breeder come on here. I'm working on it behind the scenes. Chinaman, Cottonham, Spike Snooty. Okay, so Lee, you
now, the Spike Snooty stuff, that would be my favorite.
Oh, Spike Snooty.
Yeah, I think the Spike Snooty stuff is some pretty good stuff.
So you got everything. So what will the winner? How you want the winner once we get the sponsors? What you want? What you want? What you want, Lee? You got a truck already. You want free dog food for 5 straight years? Free dog food. So you're gonna have to have no meat.
I want peace, support, and good people.
But now you can't get out of it though. You versus Tom Garner, we gotta do it big. Like we gotta get the sponsors out.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not materialistic. I want what every man wants. That's a real man, not some boy. A boy wants money and sex and cars. A man wants peace and good people.
Okay, so you got the peace, yeah. Okay, so you got the peace, but I can see you get. You know what? We'll give you some acres then, because you have more acres. You can have your thing set up. You know what I'm saying? Because you said he got like crazy dogs, so you can have maybe 50. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So
Tom Garner put in his work. You know, he's a smart man. I do have a bone I got to pick with him, and I'm going to do it publicly. His underbite video. I don't know if you saw that. I got to call him out on that.
Did you ever do the video? Oh yeah, I remember you was talking about. I never seen the video.
Yeah, I made the video, but I didn't have props, and I want to use props to because there's science behind it. It's not just my theory. This is science. And Tom Garner's an educated person, and if you give him the science, he learned. He's got degrees. You know, he's a smart guy. But I want to show the science behind his claims. They're not valid claims about the underbite. But instead of listening to my rhetoric, I got to put it in content and use the props so people can see the props. And then I'll explain the science behind it, from the fulcrum to the lever to the resistance to the force and whatnot. And it'll be clear.
So now, so back to this thing, Lee, because I'm trying to, like I said, understand the pit bulls. So when you say intelligence, the Sorrells line, most people will agree, is the most intelligent out of pit bulls, you would say?
Well, there's no such thing as the most intelligent line. You have dogs. Intelligence, I mean, there's I've seen some Sorrells dogs that were timid. Guess what? I don't have them. Because I didn't just breed Sorrells line. I started with Sorrells dogs, but then I selected the dogs that had the traits that I wanted from the Sorrells line. So the line may be known for certain things, but then you go there and you see, I mean, when I went to his place in 2003, he had like 60 dogs. And then in 2008, he had like 12 dogs because he was cutting down. But at one time, he had over 100 dogs. Or I said 2008, it may have been 2006. He started cutting back real quick because when I was there in 2003 and 2004, his back was out, and I fed his whole yard for a week. There was like 50 or 60 dogs there. But it was cool to see those dogs. Pokey was strong as an ox. Very few people have seen Pokey. A lot of people talk trash about Pokey because there's some pictures of him where he doesn't look really good. Pokey was a beast. That dog was a big, strong pit bull. probably the biggest pit bull that I've ever personally seen, because he was the size of Chief but thicker.
Oh wow.
Now, but the things that's weird about Pokey, I mean, he may not have been as big as Chief, but he was right there with him. He was probably shorter but thicker. Um, um, Pokey was a little bit like my ASC's Jackson. He was kind of built like Jackson. He was a powerhouse, but he had a little bit more skin than Jackson. So people didn't know how strong Pokey was. The thing that I can test about Pokey is his match weight was supposedly 57 pounds. And boy, I don't know how you could have got that dog down to 57 pounds. When I saw him, he was old. So maybe he was probably 78 pounds when I saw him, 80 pounds when I saw him, but he was old. So he was kind of sloppy. So when he was younger, dog, he's probably in the high 60s. You get a dog. Well, I guess you could get him down to 57. If he was 67, you could get him down to 57. And then some people say he wasn't matched, but that was all lies. But that dog was very strong and very forward. I believe it. He was a beast.
Lee Jack right there. Shout out to Michigan. He got some of your blood. I think she's let me see. She Bumpy and Marvel be what 3 times Frankie Lee?
Yeah, that's right. Marvel was off of Frankie Bump and Banshee. And
Yeah.
then Bumpy was off of Frankie Bump and Black Betty.
Yeah. Actually, so that's 4 times.
So it would be 4 times.
Yeah.
4 times. No, wait. Was he off of Black Betty or off of Suki? He may have been off of Suki. He may have been off Suki.
Black Betty, because I remember he showed me he sent me a message. That's yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been 4 times Frankie Bump.
He got a girl. She looking good. I think she probably about 3 months now, because he sent me this a couple weeks ago. So yeah.
Yeah, those. I mean, what's this guy's name? Lee what? Lee Jackson?
Yeah, Lee Jackson.
Maybe he'll answer this question. So the Marvel is a game dog, but she's going to be lacking in the stamina department. Really a powerhouse, very muscular, very fit, and very determined. But she's kind of like a bodybuilder. Got big, soft muscles that are strong, but not going to be able to work all day. So I'd watch out for that and just select wisely to make sure you know the ones that run hot.
He got their daughter.
Yeah, make sure you if you breed them, select for stamina. Don't select for the power, because that'll get locked in with that particular pedigree.
Oh, okay.
You want to make sure you maintain good air.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But Marvel was a nice dog, very powerful dog.
Yeah, so that's 4 times Frankie Bump. Yeah, so bringing in that 4 times Frankie Bump, that's a lot of. I'm curious to see. I know for sure you'll keep me posted on. I like to see the progress. I like to see puppies go from 8 weeks to 8 weeks there. She already she already looked like she gonna be like real feisty, bro. She looked like she ain't playing already. Like this was a couple weeks ago. He said, I was like, whoa, she looked good. She like Brindle. So yeah, so you got that right there. So Lee, so if I was a client, Lee, I call you up, say, yeah, look for a pit bull. I want to do some agility contest. What's your thoughts on that for your pit bulls or the jump? What's the thing they call when they jumping in the air?
You can get the wall climb.
Yeah,
man, my whole line they're rocking, dude. They are rocking. They are absolutely rocking, and that's why I told you if I was going to sell my pit bull program, I'd want $100,000, which sounds ridiculous, but it's not ridiculous, because you go buy those dogs and you'll spend $2,500 on a puppy, $2,000 on a puppy. You'll buy 10 of them, and maybe you'll get 1 or 2 that are like what I've got, and then unless you get them from the right person, and then you do it again and again and again. I mean, you can get some good dogs, don't get me wrong, but call me kennel blind if you want to. I just think I've got some freaking amazing pit bulls. It's taken me 26 years to build this program. I've been looking and looking and looking and looking and looking and calling and looking and calling and looking and calling and looking. Now I don't have a single pit bull I don't want. Every single one of them is a freaking great dog.
Okay, so when you go against Tom Garner, hypothetically, we gonna have to do a hog hunting competition. Is your dog about it in the hog hunting? About it? Is they about it in the hog hunting competition?
Absolutely. They're so much about catching hogs that they don't even have to ever see a hog. They're gonna catch it the first time they see it.
Oh wow. So they about it like that. Wow. So Lee, I know you gotta give us some exclusive, being as though that you haven't been breeding pit bulls, because remember, Lee, you talk about experience. Hold on, Lee, check it out. Lee, yep. you said Ivan Balabanov would have beat Haas because he got more experience. Then I said, okay, yep. Well, how is it that you've been breeding pit bulls with less experience than a lot of breeders and you surpassed them? So you're gonna have to explain yourself right there. Go ahead and explain yourself.
Absolutely. Well, it's about traits. So when you're looking for drive, it's drive assessment. So the drive of a pit bull is basically the same kind of thing that I'm looking for in a protection dog. In fact, one of the things that started me, you ever heard of the Learberg website?
Learberg, yeah, I like that guy. He be having some stuff be free too. You can get some good information.
Back in like 2000 to 2005, they hated me over there, and the reason they hated me over there was because I had dogs that were doing good, but I didn't follow the status quo. I was trained by people who had game dogs. And because I was trained by people that had game dogs, they didn't like me because I was associating with pit bull people. And I talked about, like, when they talked about how to school a pit bull, for example, the training method that they had for schooling a pit bull, which I'm not going to get into here. Well, I will, because it's in literature. I'm talking about literature, stuff that was written in the 1950s and 60s and 70s. It's not stuff that I'm doing. It's not stuff that you're doing. We're talking about history. What they would do is they would get an old dog that had, like, the teeth were all busted out. It was no good. It wasn't able to herd another dog anymore. But the mind of that dog was of a champion because they had a really determined old dog. So it'd come out with a great deal of intensity and really hammer the rookie, but it wouldn't hurt the rookie. And because it wouldn't hurt the rookie was not getting any damage, but it was getting turned on because of the intensity of the older dog. The older dog was still very intense and very malicious. And this is how they turned on their dogs. And I was like, well, if I'm going to do protection work, what's a more capable dog than a dog that is 100% game and about that life? It's just, instead of fighting a dog, it's the person. And so I would say, well, in my opinion, if the decoy or the person, I'm looking at genetic potential. I'm not looking at individual development. I'm looking at genetic potential, because we were looking for breeding stock. We weren't looking for training in Schutzen. We weren't looking to train in PSA. We weren't looking to train in French ring or Mondio ring or whatever sport a person wishes to choose. I was looking for genetic potential. Okay. So what we wanted to do was, we came out, we made a very clear message to the dog. We are here with bad intentions. And we looked for the individuals that said, well, you can bring your bad intentions and I will meet them. And then I will play checkmate, and I'll bring it one level higher than you bring it. So if you bring it to a level 5, they bring it to a level 6. You bring it to a level 6, they bring it to a level 7. You bring it to a level 7, they take it to a level 8. They're always just one match above you. And so the people at Learberg didn't like that, because I was adopting the pit bull mindset of training and whatnot, and using it in protection work. And so when you're looking at drive assessment or nerve assessment or athletic ability or bite or speed and agility and stamina and respiratory efficiency, this is where things come into play that measure gameness and ability. If you don't have to put them in a box. If you think you have, see, some people are so, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm going to call it like it is. Some people are so dumb, they don't know how to diagnose what's happening. They only know what happened. They don't know why it happened. And to be an expert, you need to identify, like, okay, my tire blew up. Well, why did it blow up? Did it blow up because you had overinflated it? Did it blow up because you didn't balance your tires and it wore out and then the treads came through? Or did it blow up because you ran over something that popped the tire? 3 different reasons. The idiot doesn't know the difference. They just know it blowed up. So there's a lot of people that are breeding pit bulls that are dumb as a box of rocks. So the only way that they know if a dog is game or not is the only way to know is put them in the box. It's the only way to know. It's the only way to know. I hear that all the time. And the people that say that and really believe that are dumb as a box of rocks. That's not the only way. Wow. There's also something called the pre-exhaustion test.
Say that it's kind of breaking up a little bit. The screen is kind of, I don't know if it's your Wi-Fi. Say that again.
There's something called a pre-exhaustion test.
Pre-exhaustion test? Okay.
Yeah. So that means you're going to exhaust the dog before you begin the test. Well, actually, the test is broken into 2 phases. First, you turn the dog on in phase 1. Now, once you turn the dog on, then you go and exhaust the dog with no injury. You're just running the dog and getting him exhausted. Then after you have the dog exhausted, you do the test again. Because now you know the dog knows what to do. The question is, will he do it when he's tired? And then after he does it tired, then you dominate him and see if he'll do it when he's dominated. And then you can add some pain as long as it's not going to be a permanent injury and stuff like that. But pain almost never makes a dog quit, not a game dog. They usually quit because they can't get enough oxygen in their body. So when a person knows, okay, this dog is curring out because it got dominated and it's overwhelming force. This dog got curred out because it couldn't breathe anymore. So what is, like Pat Patrick would say, the number one component to gameness is the ability to breathe. He felt like in natural endurance and stamina was the most important thing to him. And it makes sense. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in, you're a runner. You used to be a runner, or didn't you? Or you're a cyclist? Just a cyclist?
I ride my bike, yeah.
All right. So I don't know if you've ever biked up a steep hill for a long time and you got so exhausted you just had to stop and pull over and put your hands on your knees and catch your breath.
Yeah.
Well, if you can't breathe, let's just say you can't breathe and you're getting punched while you can't breathe. You can't defend yourself because you can't even breathe. And when you're in that state of mind, you're going to cur out. So Pat Patrick would be like, if you want to, you got to avoid that state of mind. You can't be where you can't defend yourself. You never want to be in that position, because if you can't defend yourself and you know you can't defend yourself, you're going to look for the back door, because you're going to think, how can I turn around and breathe? I got to breathe. I can't breathe because I'm getting punched in the face and I'm out of air. I've got to look for a back door. I got to get out of here so I can catch my breath. Now, maybe after I catch my breath, I'll turn back in again. That's what problem with Tosa Inu. Tosa Inus are not game dogs. They stop fighting, they catch their breath, and then they fight again. They didn't fight through it. The game dog is a dog.
So you saying Tosa Inu's got an endurance conditioning problem naturally?
Yes. A game dog will pass out. It's not going to look for the back door. But you want to try to. These things are flesh and blood. They're not robots. They're not Terminators that keep coming no matter what. They're flesh and blood. And when the blood pressure gets low enough and the oxygen gets low enough, it's done. It's going to pass out. It's going to stop. Now, there's a difference between stopping when you could go forward and stopping because you can't go forward. The cur is the one that stopped when he could have gone forward but chose not to. And so I'm looking for a dog that will, after a pre-exhaustion test, it's hot, it's tired, it's been dominated, and it hasn't had to take a lot of injury because we got that pre-exhaustion done with no injury taking place. Idiots don't do stuff like that. They just, I'm going to 2-dog him. I'm going to 3-dog him. What's the guy's name? Jerry Clemens had a bitch named Spook. That dog supposedly went through like 10 dogs in one day until they made her quit. Why would you do that? That's just retarded.
That's interesting right there,
but and Jerry Clemens is a smart guy too, but that's still what they did. And Jerry Clemens, rest in peace as well. But this stuff is all in literature. You don't have to do this stuff. For example, psychologists, and just for the animal rights activists that gets all freaked about any of this, tell them to go look at the studies that they did a study. He's a famous guy. They had a statue of him at Johns Hopkins University, supposedly. I've heard that was a rumor, but they had I believe it was true that they had a statue of this psychologist at Johns Hopkins University, that there was a pair of twin boys that were born at the same time, but when they did a circumcision on one of them, they messed it up and they permanently injured him. And so, because they didn't want the kid to go up through trauma, they decided to do a transgender surgery on him to make him a female at birth. And the psychologist studied the natural boy versus the transgender quote unquote girl to see if sex behavior was genetic or if it was environmentally taught. Now, they did this experiment, and this guy, this psychiatrist, did some really sick, demented stuff. Like, he had them kiss each other or kiss, like when they were infants, kissing other people of the same or opposite gender, and did all kinds of sick stuff. Nobody does that today, but they still study it to learn what happened to this kid, good or bad. And it was all bad. I mean, it was just terrible stuff. Once the kid grew up, he unfortunately ended his own life because of all the psychological trauma that he went through.
Right.
And so stuff like that is illegal today, thankfully. But it doesn't change the fact that it's still in the history books, it's still in the psychiatry books, and we can learn from those mistakes and those crimes against humanity. So, my thoughts are, if the books are written, why not read them?
So Lee, let me ask you this. Say I wanted to start delete the students Pitbull line. I get some of your dogs. Boom, boom, boom. What are some things I can do to surpass you?
Well, you just take the same dogs and you breed the fastest ones, the strongest ones, the ones with the best heat tolerance, the best ones with the best bite. You make them bigger, stronger, faster, and more endurance, more heat tolerance, more, and then keep stability in the process.
Oh, okay. Then
keep intelligence in the process, because it doesn't matter how stable they are. If they're too dangerous for you to handle because they become lions that want to eat you, that's why I would not own a tiger, right? Because a tiger is still a wild animal. It's not domesticated. I don't believe in trying to. You see these people in Africa that have hyenas. Yeah, they got the hyenas and they put leashes on them. That's dangerous.
Hyena.
The lion. No. What?
Did you hear about this? Like back, lions used to be domesticated years ago. You never.
No, let me explain domesticated. I don't mean they had a couple in a zoo or a couple that they made pets out of. I'm talking about populations.
Yes, I heard this before. Yeah,
I want to see the evidence.
Yeah, and back in like in Africa, yeah, they was domesticated, and I see this guy now. He got tigers and everything. It's amazing to see, but he don't got no e-collars on there. Like I said, I don't have that much trust because, like I say,
they're not domesticated like dogs. Dogs are the oldest domesticated species on the planet. They're domesticated.
For horses,
they're way older than horses.
What about cats, Lee? I don't know.
Way older. I know for a fact. They're like.
You sure?
All right, yes, I'm 100% sure. Dog was the very first domesticated species on the planet, and that's why they've also got the highest degree of genetic malleability. They also have more genetic phenotypic distribution than any other mammalian species. The smallest dogs only weigh like 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds as adult, and the biggest dogs have weighed over 300 pounds. That's 100 times fold in their body size.
So Lee, what year was this? Because I thought cats was domesticated before them.
All right, if you can continue to hear me, I'll look it up for you right now.
Yeah, smash the thumbs up, yo. I got Lee Robinson up in here. We want to see that battle, Lee Robinson versus Tom Garner, APB title. We can have that thing in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You can let me host it. I don't really know a whole lot about pit bulls, but I know how to host though. And the more I learn, I'm really going to do it. So we want to see that right there. We talking about we definitely want to see that Pitbull If anybody,
right.
Tom Garner, let's if you got that smoke. Go ahead, Lee. I think my opinion is I think cats are, because if you think about it, Lee, in the wild,
Well,
there are more wild cats than there are dogs. They got wolves and coyotes, maybe jackals. There's way more variety of cats than there are dogs. But go ahead, Lee.
all right, so I'm going to send you a screenshot so you can share it.
Okay, you probably can. Okay, you can send it to me. Okay.
I'm on my phone, so I can't really share it myself. All right, that's a summary from Grok. I just sent it through you by text.
Okay. Let me see.
You can drop it in there.
Yeah, let me send it. Let me
So it says dogs have been domesticated over 15,000 years. Back when I was in school, they taught 20,000 years, and cats, it said, have been domesticated between 9,500 and 10,000 years, but house cats only 2,000 years.
dogs been domesticated. Wow. While cats 10,000 years. I gotta. Yeah, I'm a Grok. I'm sure Grok be having a lot of information. Let me see. Domesticated only. Because if you go back, let me see. This is why I'm not sure about this, Lee. Because if you can see that on here, you see the hieroglyphics on there, Lee. Now they say, you see the pyramids. Ancient Egypt used to. They looked at cats as being big time. The pyramids alone, Lee. The pyramids alone in the Sphinx is like, they really say it's like 20, 30,000 years old. So I'm gonna have to, I take your word for it. I know you know your stuff, but I'm gonna have to look more into that, because I got a feeling that cats might have been there before dogs. It just, there's more cats. I have to look into that one more. Let me see. Dogs started 15,000 years ago. Okay. Full scraps. Okay.
Hey, I sent you another screenshot.
Yeah, I see it. So you said, well, yeah, wolves, and it does seem personality wise. Maybe you're right. I gotta research more though, because
I sent you two screenshots. The second one isn't more in line with what I learned when I was in college. It said like over 20,000 years.
15 to 30,000 years ago, during the last ice age, when wild wolves interacted with hunter gatherers.
Lost your sound. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can't hear you.
That's not me. I can hear you. If you can't hear me, I don't.
I want to try to refresh because I can't hear you.
Okay, get out and come back in. Yeah. So we talking about cats versus dogs, y'all. Lee saying 15. Well, maybe he's right, y'all. It seemed like to me, because we're on the streets, I read that lions used to be domesticated. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, now it's much clearer now. Yeah, before it wasn't there. Yeah, he said cats are barely domesticated now. Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
But if you talk to a person that's like really into cats, they got a higher connection. So it's like,
well, yeah, but also look at what it said. It said, so Grok said 15,000 years, and I was surprised it said that, because I always heard over 20,000, but then the other AI said 15 to 30,000. So that's more in line with what I heard when I was in college. And then it said cats 9,500 to 10,000, but then it said house cats only 2,000. So the house cats, maybe they're barely domesticated because they've only been domesticated for 2,000 years. Maybe the 9,500 plus years was what you were talking about, the big cats. I don't know.
Yeah, so yeah, I was gonna say. So in the so Lee, why don't you think it's like, let's look at you know this type stuff, Lee. So we talking about hypothetically, if a dog, if Bumper was in Africa and he ran into an animal, are there any animals in Africa? Because wild African dogs technically, are they canines? Because I know hyenas aren't canines. They're a whole new different
species. Hyenas are not canines.
Or jackals, and I think it starts with a D, dungles, or those things in Australia.
The dingo is a canine. I'll confirm it.
Dingoes are canines. Okay, jackals are canines.
But let's look it up. I say it's a dog, but yes. So dingo is a wild canine. Jackal, I think, is a distant canine, but let's confirm it.
Because I can almost tell you there's more cats in the world than it is.
It is it's in the canine family, but it's not a dog, the jackal. And then what was the other one you said? The
Dingoes,
African wild dog?
yeah, African wild dog. Those are like my favorite. Those are the most successful hunters in the game right there. More successful than lions, all of them. They more successful than hyenas. They more successful to. One thing I can tell you about cats and dogs, though, even from the wild, the dogs definitely got more stamina than the cats. I don't know no cat that has great stamina, to be honest with you. Cheetahs don't got
So it
stamina.
says here that the African wild dog cannot breed with their domestic dog. I don't know if it's true or not. I'd say let's try artificial insemination, and then you'll
So
get an
they,
answer.
but they are considered canines because they
Yeah,
got stamina. It's probably
yeah.
over the years what you call something, and they just not able to breed because they definitely number one though. So you got to give the dogs that one because they
You got to
definitely
be careful about some of this stuff because sometimes it's evolutionists wanting to prove something, and the only
yeah
way to really know the answer to that is through artificial insemination. For
yeah.
example, um, speciation is defined multiple ways. The word speciation means the development of a new species. So, if you want to look at what is the
Yeah, it
difference
sounds
between
better now. Yeah, at first I couldn't hear you. There you go. It sounds better now.
the difference between a species is when you get genetic isolation. Well, you can get genetic isolation a multitude of ways. You could have geographic isolation, which isolates the genetics because they're on different continents. You could have anatomical isolation because the Chihuahua and the Great Dane physically cannot reproduce with each other. So that's going to be anatomical isolation, which separates the genetics. And you can't breed those two individuals unless you do artificial insemination because there's no way for a Great Dane male to breed with a Chihuahua female. It's just physically impossible. But but you could artificially inseminate it. And so we have what's called pre-zygotic barriers and post-zygotic barriers. And a zygote is a fertilized egg. So to recognize if there's true genetic isolation, you need to have a post-zygotic barrier because a pre-zygotic barrier may not be genetic isolation. It could be something like anatomy. It could be different breeding season. Maybe one comes in season in the spring, the other one comes in season in the fall. So they never really are attracted to each other because their seasonal breedings have separated them. Or it could be social isolation. For example, let's go back to 100 years ago. It was socially unacceptable for white and black people to reproduce with each other. Now we know now that that's not a genetic isolation at all. That was just something that people had in their head.
Right, that's true.
So that's not a true genetic isolation. And in the scientific community, there's a very common phenomenon where people want to become famous for establishing, I identified a new species. Well, was it really a new species, or did you just try to make it up so you could get famous? They did this with the dog back in the 70s and 80s and 90s. So back in the 1970s and early 80s, the domesticated dog, its scientific name was Canis familiaris. No, it was Canis domesticus. It was Canis domesticus. And then the wolf was Canis lupus. And so creationists said, well, this is not right because the dog and the wolf can breed together, so they should be the same species. You're trying to call them different species because you're trying to say evolution is true and that creation is not. And so the creationists challenged the scientists, and the scientists said, well, technically species speaking, they can breed together, so they should be the same species. So the evolutionists had to change the name as they were challenged by the creation community. And since they can't have different scientific names because they could reproduce to each other, they did not have pre or post zygotic barriers. The only pre-zygotic barriers were just separate populations. When you put them in the same population, a dog and a wolf could breed, and it was done many, many, many times. So there was no post-zygotic barrier. And so since they could breed, they had to change the name of the dog, and they changed it to, instead of going Canis lupus like they were supposed to, they tried to pull a trickaroo. And they changed it from Canis domesticus to Canis familiaris, which meant the familiar animal. And then they changed it finally, when they got called out on that, then they changed it to Canis lupus familiaris, which means the familiar wolf. The dog is now called the familiar wolf because it can breed with the wolf. And And the truth is, if you look up the scientific name for a coyote, it's a different name, and it shouldn't be, because the coyote and the wolf and the dog can all breed together. So they should all be have the same scientific genus and the same scientific species. They should all have the same, but they don't. They should, because they can all breed together. They should only be separated at the subspecies level. And this is one of the things that dog breeders need to understand, because there is no such thing as a breed. That's a total myth. Breeds do not exist. Families exist. The word breed is just synonym. It's just a synonym for a family of individuals that display certain traits. That's all a breed is. They're all dogs, whether it's a Chihuahua, a Great Dane, a Lhasa Apso, or a Poodle, or a Pitbull, or whatever. They're all dogs. All we're doing is modifying the traits. And a breed is just an individuals that have the genetic traits to display certain things that are described in a breed standard. In other words, it's a group of related individuals. It's a family. That's what it is.
Makes sense. Now, Lee, I got some more questions. I appreciate you coming in here, spending your time. Rest in peace to your lovely mother. Do you ever see yourself maybe incorporating some exterior pit bull blood to make your pit bull program enhanced, as well as your Sentinel program, or are you just strictly sorrels and that's it? Because you know my boy, Little Rascal, Red Boy Jocko. So,
yeah. Well, we've already got the blood that we need. So when I say sorrels, so we have Jackknife and Pumpkin are 100% pure sorrels. Then we had Rosebud and Miss Bull that were also 100% sorrels. And there's people out there that want to act like, well, you have to have sorrels everywhere in there for it to be 100% sorrels. I call BS on that, because Bert Sorrells brought in other stuff, and then he would select for the traits that he wanted, and he would unify it into his program, and he'd slap his name on it. So Bert Sorrells used Boomerang quite a bit. And so if you look at Pokey, if you go back in his pedigree, his true pedigree, you would see a lot more Boomerang in it than what was actually advertised on his ADBA paperwork. And so was Boomerang a Sorrells dog? Some people would say no. Some people would say yes. I would say yes, because he had the traits that Bert Sorrells looked for. Now, when I went to Bert Sorrells' yard and I looked at all of his yard, I saw some dogs that I really, really liked, and I saw some that I didn't like so much. So I don't just have Sorrells dogs. I have Sorrells dogs that have the traits that I want. And so maybe theoretically, maybe I should call it the Lee Robinson strain of pit bulls, because they're not bred exactly the same as him. It's a subcategory of a bigger type. The Sorrells type had more variation than what I've got. But I do have some outcrosses in there, enough to preserve the type that I'm looking for. I mean, we know that I've got the Lucky 7 Wonder Girl combination coming in through Banshee and also through Riot. That's a little bit of an outcross there. Now, for those of you that don't know, Lucky 7 was heavy on Mayday. Well, if we look back behind Mayday, what was he? He was Red Boy Jocko Bolio Tombstone. Well, let's look at the Bolio Tombstone side of that. That has the same genetic foundation as Bert Sorrells. You're talking about Tudor Carver combinations. So the Tudor Carver combinations is what the Sorrells blood was. And then you have a lot of Corvino blood in there. So it's the same family. It's the same branch. It's the same tree, just different branch. If that makes any sense.
Shout out to John. He said, I like Lee's confidence, but Garner has more objective success proof in his pit bulls.
Well, of course he's done it. He does. He's been working with pit bulls he's got 200 dogs. He's produced, or 300 dogs. He's been doing this for 40 years, but I know how our dogs have worked against the Garner dogs, and our dogs have beat them. So it doesn't matter about what.
So you gonna be the underdog. Lee confident as the underdog too. This is my first time seeing Lee as the underdog. That'd be interesting.
I don't even worry about it, because I'm not trying to become famous in the pit bull world. I'm bringing these dogs for my goals. That's what I'm doing. If somebody doesn't like my goals, that's cool. I don't care.
Yeah, you crazy, Lee. But I I want to see it now. We got if anybody got a Tom Garner hog that hunt hogs, and we got league said we want to see them battle in that hog hunt though. I want to see this shit because like I said, I don't know. Is Tom Garner, does his come in different colors too? Like Brindle and
Yeah, he's got a lot of black dogs, a lot of fawn dogs. He's got some brindle dogs. He's got some big dogs too. I mean, he's got some nice dogs. I'm not saying that he doesn't have that. Tom Garner's an accomplished dog man. Anybody that says Tom Garner's not an accomplished,
things is your mic sounds different.
All right, how about this? Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I lean, if my headset is pushed for some reason, it doesn't work. So
okay.
I can't lean against the back of the chair. I said Tom Garner is an accomplished dog man. I do not understand why there's so many band dog breeders that are breeding to American bullies or Amstaffs. If they don't know where to get a good pit bull, they should be calling up Tom Garner. I mean, you don't have to get one from me. He's got some great dogs, and anybody that wants to. I'm not down in the man's dogs. I'm not down in the man's program. He is extremely successful, and he's done very well. His snooty blood would be some really good combinations to go with. But you know, call up Madison Parker and ask him. The Sorrells dogs that I've got they're awesome. They're just absolutely awesome. And you also have to look at what am I looking for?
Yeah.
So I'm not just looking for a game dog pit bull. I'm looking for a game dog that's very adaptable and very intelligent and very stable.
We gonna see. We got to set that up. We got to start off with the hogs. We can do wall climbing. What else? What other activities, Lee? Weight pulling. Can your dogs do weight pull too?
Well, if you're gonna test the pit bull, then you got to hog hunt. I mean,
yeah.
There's no other, and that's not even the true test. But I'm not going to be involved in the box. I don't do that stuff.
Yeah,
if somebody wants to,
we're not talking about that. Yeah, we just talking about
If as far as legal venues, you just got to go on a hog hunt, and I'm sure Tom Garner's got some aces in it. But every single one of my pit bulls is going to tag a hog so freaking fast. It's crazy. They're about that. They just love it. And I mean, they'll eat the hog right after they're done killing. You got to pull them off. They're just freaking crazy.
Now, is most of your game? Is most of your pit bulls like real dog aggressive?
Oh yeah, very, very much so.
Oh, they very much so. Okay, yeah. Okay, so
they're difficult to breed until if the first time they breed. The females tend to not be very cooperative with breeding. Some of them maybe, but most of them not. The males, the first couple of times they breed, they're really difficult to breed. They do not like other dogs. But after they've experienced the pleasures of reproduction, they change their mind and become very interested.
Okay, so
violently interested.
How was you able to pull off that? Because you said Banshee was dog aggressive. I remember you telling me about that when you was trying to breed her Ranger. How was you able to pull it off with Bam Bam? Because Bam Bam looked like
Bam Bam. I had to muzzle Bam Bam. I mean, he wants to fight and grape. I'm going to say grapes are, but take off the G. He wants to do the fight and grape at the same time. I mean, he's just a psychopath.
Oh wow. So
once you get him bred, don't let him look at that girl. He will fight while he's tied. You got to turn him around and freaking face him the other direction. And he's crazy.
He get that from his daddy Boomer and Miss Bandit, or just
well, all my pit bulls are very dog aggressive. You're gonna have. The only dog pit bull that I have that's ever been around other dogs was Scarlet. She was around Reptar, and that's because she was raised around Reptar.
Right.
But she will not tolerate Boomer or any of the other dogs. Not at all.
Brother. How would you able to pull that one off? Because they got puppies on the ground, right?
Well, I got a breeding stand, and we got muzzles.
Boomer and Scarlet. You got puppies on the ground, right?
Yeah.
They're looking for pit bulls because you don't really push it. I don't feel like you really push your pit bulls. Why is that? Why don't you push your pit bulls like that?
Honestly, I don't feel like I push any of my dogs. I just put it out there what I do, and if somebody wants to find me and come across me, they can. But I don't like to solicit. I don't like to make big claims. But I also, I'm just talking to you right now, and there is nothing I'm going to say that I don't believe. All right. If I, like, for example, when we were talking about something earlier, I can't remember what it was, but it may have been about the Lions or whatever. I was like, I don't think so. You
Oh
know,
yeah, Lions. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lions.
yeah,
Big. Yeah, yeah,
if I don't know something, I'm going to say I don't know.
yeah. That's fair. Yeah. So that one is looking that thing is gonna looking. If I was looking for a Pitbull, I would 100%. That's the one I want because I get a Brindle joint and I like Bam Bam. I like Banshee. This one right there, boy. That's gonna be something. That's gonna be something serious right there. And you said
Yeah.
that one was like mostly all Soros. Because I'm gonna
I'm
see.
going to tell you, I'll tell you why I think I'm so successful with the pit bulls that I've got.
Yeah,
Is one, I have a lot of understanding of, I
yeah,
have a lot of, I
yeah.
have a lot of understanding of canine behavior. I have a lot of understanding of morphology. I have a good eye. I'm not going to keep something that I don't believe in. And Madison Parker's dogs have been proven um, time and time and time and time and time again, and they are heavy sorrels. And then Mickey Smith kept the pedigree pure, but probably hadn't proven his dogs as much recently as Madison has. But when I put those two together, I was breeding the performance bred dogs back with the pure pedigrees. And so the pedigree was preserved on one side, the performance was preserved on the other side. So I had my outcrosses coming in from Madison's place with the pureness coming in from the Mickey Smith stuff. And when I put them together, I felt like I ended up with dogs that were better than both Madison's and Mickey's because it just clicked. It just was the
Wow.
natural outcross back to the pure blood.
Mm.
Madison did the work. He did the outcross and performance selected it and refined it. And then I took it back to that pure blood, which just was totally revived. So it's just, I'm like a little kid in a candy store, just like giddy with success. It's like, yes, they all freaking work. It's like you get 10 puppies and they're all hammering. It's just crazy.
That jackknife, the pups you just recently had, the guy put the thing. His dogs look like him too. Like they favor him, like the look of him, because Jackknife got a different look than Boomer does.
Boomer is an extremely good producer. I mean, extremely good producer. He's off of Frankie Bomp and Rosebud. Frankie Bomp was 3/4 sorrels and Rosebud was 100%, making Boomer 7/8 or 87.5%, which is, somebody might say, well, that's not pure sorrels. 87.5%,
You should just call it you said the Robinson's line. That's the Robinson's
Yeah,
line.
call it the Robinson line. I don't care. The reason I don't do that because I'm not trying to get famous off of dogs. I'm trying to bring.
You're not trying to get famous, but you still have a you still have a legacy after 100 years from now. You don't have to be famous. Like you got children, you got Sentinels. You don't have to try to be famous. That's the Robinson's line. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna set it up. Once I get my sponsors, Lee said he just want peace. So we're gonna have to give the winner of Tom Garner and Lee Robinson. We just gonna give us some acres and like free dog food for 5 years, so they don't have to worry about dog food and some acres. Yeah. He got a truck. I'm sure Garner got a truck. Yeah, so y'all good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to beat a dead horse or come on here and preach and preach and preach, but to understand my objectives, you have to understand what I believe. And to me, do you know who Solomon is, the wisest man in the Bible? You know what he said?
I heard one, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't know.
All right, he said all is vanity without God. So, like, you can get the nicest cars, but when you die, it don't go with you. You can have sex with beautiful women, and when so what? You can have riches and fame and fortune and materialistic things. And for me, you could have great dogs, and you could have a great legacy. Somebody told me one time, man, what if you were so great that they built a shrine? And I'm like, so what if they built a shrine? That shrine doesn't do anything for me. That shrine is for the dead people. Or once I die, that's for the people that are still living. So If the shrine is for people that are still living, it has nothing for me. It's vanity. I don't believe in trying to pursue vanity. I believe in trying to serve my creator and do the best that I can and be an expert in my craft. So when people come to me for my craft, because I'm good at my craft, then maybe I'll have an opportunity to witness. That's my goal.
So Lee, okay, so when you gonna write a book then? When you gonna write a book? Because you like Rain Man with the knowledge. When you gonna write a book, the
I've got
construct
I've got to do that. I've got to consider that. I mean, I get asked a lot about writing a book, but it's not something that I really pursue because it's a lot of work, and the knowledge does need to be.
game blood. You got the game blood in you, so you got the work ethic. So the work don't mean nothing to you. Your work ethic is crazy.
But the work ethic, it's a lot. We have to pick our battles, right? And
Yeah.
so the because we only have so much time. You know, if you live 100 years, it's only 36,500 days. My mother lived 93 years. She lived about
Wow.
34,000 days. That's it. That's not very many days if you look at it like that. We're only here for a short period of time. Now, the work is not the problem. It's is there fruit produced from that labor? And I don't mean reward because I don't need the reward. I need fruit. The fruit can be for somebody else. It doesn't have to be for me. But how many people read books anymore?
A lot of people.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's what that brings me into this. Audio books. You can do audio books, and then you get somebody like Brian the historian. He's up on it. Y'all can work together and have the book right there. So it's many ways once you decide. It's many ways that the law of attraction, y'all come together and you have your book. And then you know what I'm saying? You're not doing it for money, but it's for the legacy because you like to help people, right, Lee? You like
Right, that's true. But I guess you could say part of me loses a little faith because, I mean, I have people that they want a free dog. They want a free. They contact me and say, "Hey, what breedings you got going on?" I send them the website. Then after I send them the website, they say, "Well, what's the prices?" I send them the website. Then they say, "Can I see pictures of the dogs?" I send them the website. Then they say, "What's available?" I send them the website. If you would just look and read the website, you'd have all the answers to the questions, but they won't read anything.
Somebody put that in Instagram today. You say the price here, and you just keep going. They call you back. It was so funny. So shout out to the breeders, but that doesn't mean that's just one aspect. Everything works in a world of balance, but you also have people that support you and buy your dog. So based on
Yeah, we do, and that's why I send them my website because honestly, even though it's annoying, I'm not looking to sell a dog to everybody. I'm looking to sell a dog to the right client. And so the right client is somebody that wants an education.
But
That's
check
what I
this out, though, Lee. Listen, since knowledge transcends and the dog world transcends, the people that'll buy your book are be people that's not just only interested in books.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, so go ahead and come up with that book, man. I think
It's something I want to do. It's something I want to do.
do an audio book. It don't gotta be physical or just the ebook. And then
But I want to do it. I do want to write a book, but I want to also I want to garden. I want to train my dogs at a level that the public hasn't seen me do. So I'm not just a person of rhetoric. I want to be, and I'm not just rhetorical, is what I was going to say. I want to be a person that's able to demonstrate. I mean, I'm sitting here playing with Chewy right now while we're on the phone. Chewy, sit. Chewy,
I forgot.
Take. Good girl. That's it.
Yeah, I forgot to bring up next when I do part 2 of these battles, guys. We already talked about Nox versus Vader. We talked about Vengasa versus Ninja. I didn't even bring my girl Chewy up. We got to put her in a nice little battle. Ripped up. Shout out to all the people that's watching. Shout out to all my future sponsors. I'm curious, is Lee gonna publish his notes from John Swinford? Great question.
That's going to have to go to the book if we put a book out, and if I don't put a book out, I need to release it anyway, because somebody, you know, the word gatekeeper is used as a derogatory. Someone said you're a gatekeeper on the Swinford stuff. Yes, I am a gatekeeper, and it's not derogatory. The person that gave it to me wanted me to promise to make sure that if that information was released, it was released accurately, because there's a lot of misinformation about John Swinford, and it's not right to the man's legacy. Now, he had a lifestyle that I'll be honest with you, I didn't agree with his lifestyle. He lived a very liberal life. Let's put it that way. Um, and he only bred the dogs for 3 generations. Well, he really 2.5 generations. He only bred the dogs for 6 years. And the third generation was in the dog's belly. So the third generation wasn't even born yet. Um, so he had very limited success, but he had a lot of fame because if he was associated with Jack Kelly of the Sporting Dog Journal. And because he was associated with Jack Kelly of the Sporting Dog Journal and actually studied Octavia to Bobtail Buddy, a 2-time winner owned by Jack Kelly, he was in that magazine when he died. And that's how Carl Simincic came across him. And Carl Simincic, of course, is the author of The World of Fighting Dogs. So he was trying to breed a dog that was capable of doing protection work, that was not afraid of man or beast. He got written about quite a bit. He bred a lot more dogs, but not a lot of generations. He only had, like I said, 2.5 generations. But he bred a lot more dogs than people think he did because, and he had a veterinary friend, a female friend that gave me the information, and she wants that information released properly. And it will be released properly. But what I'm not going to do is put it out on the internet for people to plagiarize it, put it on their website, and then make statements about the man or his program that were not true. And I know that will happen because it's already happened. When you see pictures of Octavia with the puppies that she was bred to, or that had the English Mastiff that was bred, and there's the little puppies there, I'm the one that released that photo. When you see John Swinford and the dog and Bantu standing up on his back legs and John Swinford petting that dog, I'm the one that released that photo like 20 something years ago. All right. So most people only saw the picture of Bantu and John standing over the dog. They didn't see the picture of Bantu standing up. Well, I released those photos. So I have released some photos. And I've got dozens and dozens and dozens of photos and articles and letters from his mother. Um, Here, I got the breed standard that he wrote by hand on his desk, or maybe it was typed. I think it was typed and by hand because I think if I remember correctly, I haven't looked at it in 10 years. I believe it was typed, but it's got lines that are crossed out and handwritten notes, like where he was editing it. Because it was a breed in development. It was not a finished product. Um, but he was inspirational to me. He deserves a lot of credit, even if he didn't finish the product, because he inspired the recreation of the concept of a giant pit bull capable of doing protection work. Now, he was more interested in the working mastiff than he was a giant pit bull. I am not really a follower of his program. Now, earlier, he definitely influenced my stuff. I would say his program is somewhere in between mine and David Ishey's. David Ishey is breeding a true mastiff dog. That's not what John Swinford did. I'm interested in producing a giant pit bull that does protection work, basically. I'm like in the 65 to 90 pound range. John Swinford did not have 130-pound dogs and 140-pound dogs and 150-pound dogs. John Swinford also didn't have a bunch of 70-pound dogs or 80-pound dogs. He had some that were that size. I would say the smallest dogs he had consistently were very similar to what I've got, the smallest ones that he had. But he didn't have as much pit bull as I've got. So that would just be kind of overlap in type, in body weight, but not so much in type is what I meant to say. If you got a dog from Midgard Mastiff and bred it to a heavy pit bull Sentinel, you would probably end up with percentage-wise very similar to what he had, but I can't say that it would be what he had because he did a lot of the best Sentinel, excuse me, a lot of the best Swinfords were 50-50 crosses or 75% Mastiff. He didn't go over 75%. He wanted to keep at least 25%. And the third generation that he was putting on the ground was a combination of those two, where he was taking the 75% and the 50-50 dogs back together, ending up to about 62.5% Mastiff and about 37.5% Pit Bull. And, the reason why that's not like David Ishey's program, David Ishey's running about 90 to 95% Mastiff. You know, he's got very little pit bull blood.
Yeah. Shout out to Jared. He got his girl Griselda. She's looking spectacular right there. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
so that's
Ask him what's the percentage in his Midgard Mastiff dog, the pit bull influence.
so he
Is
sent
it less than 10? Is it less than 10%?
Pit Bulls, I believe so. And he also got American Bulldog in a little bit there too. A little bit of great
Yeah.
thing. He sent me the pedigree too. So that's how I was able to figure out what Cobalt's pedigree was since he got the Pele's blood there.
For a person that's wanting a good Mastiff dog, David Ishii's your man to holler at. I send people to him all the time because I get people calling me up. They say, hey, I want a 130-pound dog. I don't produce 130-pound dogs. Have we had them before? Yeah. Wrecker, Kovu, Rogue, you know, those dogs were giant, but that's not the direction. Man, to me, agility, the ability to run up a mountain a mountain, a steep cliff that's got clay and water, the ability to run up that means something to me.
130. I think you can do it in the 110 range because Griselda looked like she athletic too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you need like Lee said, go make sure you hit up Midgard Mastiff. I'm not sure how much breeding he does. I don't know if maybe once a year or so, but yeah, he definitely breeds.
Yeah, he's still got some dogs, I'm sure, but he's doing some adventures with, you know, you know that he does his gene editing type stuff, his biohacking stuff.
Yeah.
And he's a co-owner of a business now. So
okay.
He's really working around the clock, you know, and the dogs are probably going to always be part of what he wants to do, but his dad is starting to pick up some of the work because David is overextended with his business adventure.
Oh, okay. So you got that right there. So you say you probably won't add no outside, you won't add no Chinaman or nothing to your Sentinels.
I don't need to. I mean, I could just with the pit bulls that I have, just with the pit bulls I have, I could preserve my pit bull line for 20 years.
Wow.
So I have no reason to bring in outside blood, but I'm also not ignorant. If somebody came across and they had something that was superior, why would I not use it?
So you don't got that kennel blindness. That's good.
I mean, winning is winning.
Yeah, we see that one. Okay, so if Tom Garner outdo you on one of those hog huntings, you're gonna have to say, "Oh, how did he win?" Right? You're gonna have to break it down. You're gonna have to have one of Tom Garner's dogs, the guy that beat you.
Well, we've already seen it, so I'm not making it up. It's not a hypothetical. The results are already in. I just don't have evidence for you, and so it's like, why do I? There's no need in talking about it because
we gonna see one of them hugs though. Yeah.
And look, I'm not ignorant. I know that he's got a lot of dogs out there, and some of them are going to be aces, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, we get to see that one day. I think that'll make the dog game as a whole. What are some things that you think, as a community, because everybody has a role. You have your role. You're a breeder. Amongst with other stuff. What do you think each role in the dog community can do to make the dogs better overall? Bring back the hard dogs and get rid of the soft dog era in general. What do you think we can all do?
We need to get rid of the Karens.
Now,
a friend of mine, Brandon Edmonds. He does protection work. He gets reported by these people that are hypocrites that only see what he's doing through the eyes that they want to see it. It's like when they see him doing protection training and they see him agitating a dog and they think it's cruel and mean. Meanwhile, if you go to their page and you look at this person that's complaining, it's a woman riding a horse. Somebody else might look at her and say, that's cruel and mean. You're putting your 150-pound fat butt on top of a horse, you know? So it's ignorant. They don't know. And we need to get rid of this ignorance. What we need, like people are saying, pit bulls are dangerous. They need to be banned. 90% of these pit bulls that quote unquote bite people, a lot of them aren't even pit bulls.
Facts. Yeah.
So, you know, we need to get rid of the ignorance. People need to shut their mouths until they know what they're talking about. I repeatedly say, I don't have to know everything. I just have to know somebody that knows what I don't know.
Right.
You know, nobody's an expert at everything.
So
The
what?
reason why I speak with so much confidence on stuff is because when I don't know, I very clearly say I don't know. And so if I don't know something, and I've also like I believe if you went to if you went and bought 10 dogs from Tom Garner's, or you bought the 10 pit bulls I have, I know for a fact there's no way you're going to get 10 dogs from Tom Garner that are at this level unless you spend a bunch of money and you walk through that yard and selectively pick. If you just say, I want 10 dogs from Tom Garner, call him and say, hey, Tom Garner, send me 10 dogs. Now, if you say you're going to spend 100 grand, yeah, he'll send you 10 aces just like what I've got. But if you just went out there and just got 10 dogs, it ain't going to be like this because it takes too long to build it. I didn't buy 10 dogs to get 10 dogs. I bought 30 dogs, to get 10 dogs. And then I bred them and selected them and culled them and got rid of them and did it again and again and again and until you refine it for 26 years. And Tom Garner, I'll point blank tell you, Madison Parker has a dog from Tom Garner that's very nice. Madison Parker will also tell you that he doesn't like Tom Garner because Tom Garner bought his way into the game. He didn't do it in the trenches like he did. Madison Parker was in the trenches. Tom Garner was not in the trenches. He bought the dogs. He bought the dogs that were accomplished from other people. And then he bred the dogs and he put them out and outsourced them. And then when those dogs became accomplished, he would buy the accomplished ones back. But he wasn't in the trenches. He was Madison Parker would say he was like a coach on a game. He wasn't a player. That's what Madison would say.
I can see
but that doesn't mean he's ignorant. Because guess what? You get a good coach, you can have a successful team.
Right. Yeah.
And he's smart. I mean, he's got a breeding facility. I mean, he's got like nitrogen tanks for his own AI stuff. I mean, he's not a dummy. He's an educated man.
Yeah, so we need more guys like that in the dog game. It's enough room and success. And like you said, no one breeder can bring the dogs back. It has to be a combination of people. Lee Robinson, Tom Garner, whoever the other pit bull breeders out there. It's a combination of that's going to bring it out, and not just pit bulls, but just whatever breed it is, Corsos, Pressas. This Sunday, I'm working on having my man Tribal Cane Corsos on here. Hopefully, he can make it. He's representing Jersey and Corsos. Everybody has to play a role. It's all about.
Yeah, if you want a good, let's just say hypothetically that somebody wants a good pit bull and they don't know where to start, and you're not going to get a dog from me. Let's just take me off the table in order to be objective. All right, where would I go? I would call the Bulldog Barn or Tom Garner, or go to ADBA show and meet some people. That's what I would do.
A Bulldog Barn? Are they in the U.S.?
Bulldog Barn was in Mexico. Rodney is his name.
Did you have him?
Yeah, I had him on my channel.
That guy. Yeah. He's in Mexico. Yeah. Okay.
The Rodney knows his stuff. Brandon Phillips knows his stuff. And Brandon Phillips is very good friends with Tom Garner. He's also good friends with what's the guy's name that wrote all the books? Goodness gracious, I'm having a brain freeze here. I know the guy's name 100 times over. He sent me all his books autographed. Richard Stratton. I got all his.
I heard of that. Yeah, I think I've seen him on documentary TV.
Yeah, I got all of his books autographed. He sent them to me autographed. It's pretty cool. Richard Stratton is a historian. He's not I'm not trying to be an ugly guy, but he's not a dog man. He doesn't know what it's like to train and condition. He's seen those dogs. Richard Stratton's been on the side of the pit. He's seen things I haven't seen. He knows dogmen, way more dogmen than I do, but he's never cared for a family of dogs for 20 years. No offense intended.
Does he breed dogs himself though, Stratton?
No, he doesn't breed dogs. He's a writer. He's got a bunch of books about pit bulls. He's got a bunch of books about African cichlids, and cichlids, fish. Um, he's a writer. He's an author. He's a
His role, though,
historian.
that's what we're talking about. Everybody has a role. So you
Yeah,
your role. That's how it works, though. It's like nobody.
yeah. You got a team, and the team works together.
That's how the game got to win. You got to be great at your role. Sometimes people try to
That's
play
right.
role. They don't know how to play their role. They try to be worrying about other people's roles, but they don't know how to play their role. You got to play your role.
Madison Parker is a conditioner. That's what he is, a conditioner and handler.
And he played his role. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you consider yourself, Lee? What you consider yourself? If you was writing your bio, what's you gonna say? If you was writing a bio on Lee Robinson, what would you say he was in the pit bull world?
I would say I'm a breeder and a trainer, and a husbandry person, but really a breeder and trainer. Now, the one regret that I have is I haven't showcased to the world my training abilities because I was making a living. I was making a living as a teacher and breeding and running a property and keeping family, and I was just overextended. And here I am making excuses. So I don't like excuses. So now that's my next objective. My next objective is I don't care if I am 57 years old. I want to prove my training abilities. So, this is something I want to do. And it's going to be tough because good trainers and good decoys are hard to find. And we'll speak more about that later. But
so training, you talking about obedience training, or
all of it? When I say all of it, I'm talking about protection training, obedience training, agility training.
Obedience. Yeah, okay.
I want to do obedience a lot more. I mean, I used to do stupid dog tricks back when I was in college. I had dogs that did all kinds of. I went to a training facility from a person that trained dogs for 20 years, and when I was there, after my first, I got a Canine Good Citizenship 1 and Canine Good Citizen. It was like a couple of titles. I don't know if it was Canine Good Citizenship 2 or something. It was back in the 90s, like 1995. So we're talking about 30 years ago. I don't remember, but we got Canine Good Citizenship, and then we did some other stuff. And then I was teaching my dog stupid dog tricks. I mean, stupid tricks like run over here 50 yards away, lay down, turn around, turn back and face me, sit up and wave high. Just stupid stuff. And they're like, how did you? And I taught my dog to crawl. I could tell the dog to crawl at me, and from 50 yards away, the dog would start crawling towards me, and then he would sit up and wave at me again. And it was just fun stuff because I was like, just
a little glimpse of what you had when you had that game pit bull off leash around the other pit bulls, and he wasn't even doing it. So I seen your little skills right there. You showcase a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't go too deep, but I seen a little bit.
Yeah, and I taught that dog in 1 week, and I did it because the person that had the dog said he couldn't train the dog, and I just wanted to make a point. He said, this dog cannot be trained. I was like, well, the problem was that person couldn't train the dog because they trained with dominance and yanking crank.
Yeah.
So I was like, you can't do yank and crank with the dog that's submissive. The dog's going to lay down because you yanked and crank, and he's like, just thinks he's in trouble. So I was like, you have to use food and motivational techniques, and he wasn't adaptable like that. Here is my skill. The ability to see something that other people can't see and figure out what's the cause. That's my skill. And then being adaptable. The problem now is, if let's just say hypothetically that I wanted to compete in PSA or French Ring or Schutzen, I'm going to have a very hard time because, like, Ivan Balabanov knows everything I know and more and has been doing it for 40 years. What's the other guy that you like from Shield Canine? Hans?
Yeah, Haas.
All right. Haas, I'm going to have a hard time competing against him, although you can blast me for this. I've seen Haas say some things that are wrong. Right? I have. So he doesn't have the scientific background right. He's got some things wrong.
I speak on negative reinforcement, but I think he was correct though, because negative reinforcement, if you put pressure on them, then you release it. Positive reinforcement, and once they do what you do, you praise them. So negative reinforcement was correct, because negative reinforcement and positive punishment isn't the same.
No, but you also have negative punishment.
Negative punishment would be if your dog has a toy and you just remove it from them. It's about
Correct.
the subtraction.
Right. So he's used the terms negative reinforcement and positive punishment and negative punishment incorrectly before. But I mean, he probably knows the definitions, but in common conversation, he instinctually gets them wrong. And in casual conversation, I could get them instinctually wrong as well because you got to sometimes think about it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I like Ivan Balabanov so much. Is he knows it so well. It's like the back of his hand. He never says it wrong. He's always got it right. And if you like replay, did he get it right this time? Like, yeah, he got it right. Like I might be talking about positive reinforcement, positive punishment, negative punishment, and I can define them all and put them on the grid, and I can do the training, and I can say them, and maybe 8 times or 9 times out of 10 I get it all right. But once in a while, I still could screw it up just because yes, I know it, but there's a difference between understanding something and really like you're on autopilot. And Ivan Balabanov is on autopilot.
But
That
Lee,
guy is
you
at
think
a
this,
whole
though.
nother level.
But
Whole
Lee,
nother level.
you're a knowledgeable guy. We gotta realize that dog training ain't science. In my
Well,
opinion,
yes, that's what I was going to say next. The one thing,
it's
yeah,
more art than science. What you
yeah,
think?
and that's what I was going to say next is the thing that Haas has or Shield, whatever his name is. What's it? Is it Haas? What's his
It's
name?
hard.
Haas.
Shit, they
The
not
thing,
in business. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the thing that he has is there's science, there's the scientist, and then there's the technician. So the difference is the scientist writes the protocol, and then the technician masters the protocol. It's kind of like the chef versus the cook. The scientist is the chef, and the technician is the cook. So you could be a really good cook without being a chef because you're following a recipe that's already been proven. And this is where Haas, I think, might have some advantage. Is he may not be the chef that Ivan Balabanov is, but if he follows a recipe that's been proven, he doesn't have to understand why it works. He just does it. Like a cook doesn't know why do you put this much sugar, why do you put this much salt, why do you put this much flour or butter, and why at this temperature, why at this length. He doesn't know any of that, but he has a method that works. And it may not ever get him to first place or second place or third place, but it always puts him in the top 10. So he's pretty damn good.
But the battle with that one won't be herders though. So they're going okay. So we have
Yeah.
pit bulls. We have Tom. They have some Soros pit bulls in the IGP. It's
Yeah,
gonna
and
be
that
different.
and that's why Ivan Balabanov will mop Haas it up because it's going to be because now that's like taking the cook away from the oven and putting them on the grill or in the microwave. Ivan Balabanov masters all of those because he has the theory, and he's got the practice. While Haas has the practice. Haas is. I'm not saying he's not good. I mean, he would mollywop me in obedience training, I'm sure, but he's the technician. He's not the scientist. If that makes sense.
With these battles, I'm sure I'm gonna manifest them. So shout out to my future sponsors. One day
It's like saying here's Ivan or no, here's Haas. He's got the oven and he's got the stove. He can cook the salmon. He can cook the green beans and whatnot. He's a master of the oven and the stove. But if you make him cook in the microwave, like give him a Pitbull, or you throw him on the grill and he has to use an American Sentinel, he can't do it because he's a master of the Malinois.
But no,
Ivan Balabanov understands all that crap, dude. When I went out to his place, he was training all breeds. Everybody thinks he just does Malinois. No, I went to his place and he was training all different breeds.
So Ivan Balabanov would be like Tom Garner. He would be the favorite. He got the super amazing kennel, and Haas would be like you. And like you said, that's how it's going to be set up. And like you said, you the underdog.
Call it that if you want to. I don't.
Hey, how long you been breeding? How long you been breeding pit bulls before we get out of here? How long you been breeding pit bulls?
26 years.
Oh, you've been breeding pit bulls the same? I thought you.
Yeah, I had pit bulls when I had my first Sentinels. Well, 20. Okay, not 26.
I thought you was breeding
24, 25, 24 years.
You already had, but you just recently changed them to the Robinson line. So you've been selling your own pit bulls. Okay.
I had my first Sorrels pit bull in 2003, and that was not my first pit bull. That was my first Sorrels pit bull.
Yeah.
Actually, I got him in 2004. I was at Burt's in 2003, but got the sorrel dog in 2004. Go ahead.
I didn't know you was actually breeding them. I just thought you was doing Sentinels.
Yeah, I was breeding. I had some Garner Frisco blood back in like the early 2000s.
Oh, okay. So you was breeding. Okay, I didn't know you was breeding them that long. But
Yeah.
how long Tom Garner been breeding?
Well, he's like 71 years old. He's been breeding probably 50 years.
So I don't know, bro. It's like that's a lot for you gonna have to give up though, Lee. That's a lot of experience he got on you.
All right, I'm not trying to throw the man under the bus. I'm just going to ask you a question. Okay, like I said, I'm giving him props, right?
I heard that guy had great dogs, bro. I heard he was amazing.
He's got some great dogs. I'm giving him props.
Amazing, yeah. And I seen him working out too. I was like, wow, it was real inspiring. This guy be working out and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. But let me ask you this:
person for the dog game, yeah.
Here's where I got Tom Garner beat.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be ugly, but let's just call it like it is. Who feeds my dogs every day?
You.
Who breeds the dogs every time they get bred?
I would say you, yeah.
Who walks the dogs when they got to go for a walk and gives them medicine?
You.
Tom Garner has people do it for him.
Okay.
He's got like 200 dogs.
Okay.
I know my dogs. Tom Garner knows what he's told about his dogs.
So you're saying not hands on, but if he have people around him that's not yes men and telling them the truth, even if his feelings don't get hurt, then that makes it even better. Because one intelligent being is enough, but when you add one intelligent being with 3 and 4, that means that one species of intelligence increases. So that actually is advantageous in a sense. Say you're a one-man army, Lee. You're intelligent, right? And you got Tom Garner. He got his intelligence, and he got people around him. So that makes that being even more powerful. Would you disagree with that?
It depends on if you have kennel blindness and salesmen coming into play. Did you see the video of the underbite video?
No, I never seen it.
Mm-hmm. That was a salesman. That was not good. That was the worst video I've ever seen from an educated dog man. It was terrible. It was just a sales pitch of trying to breed trash and sell trash. Watch that video.
I have to watch it. Maybe he just because everybody do got flaws though, so you can't say like everybody do has flaws and
I'm not. Look, he's got some great dogs. Okay, he's got some dogs out there that are just as good as anything I've ever owned in my life. But I mean, when you have that many dogs, the thing is, take Tom Garner's yard, and you just got rid of all of his dogs except for his 10 best, and those 10 best also are compatible in terms of pedigree for breeding. Now you build off that. That's what I've tried to do, but I didn't do it with Garner blood. I did it with sorrel blood.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
And I'm not even trying to breed for the box. I'm breeding pit bulls that are highly game, highly adaptable, great in stamina, great agility. And I'm doing it because the foundation of the Sentinel does not allow excuses of second place. They have to be first place dogs to go into my foundation. Because I call Sentinels and replace Sentinels if they don't meet the standard.
So that leads me to leaves. You gonna keep you got 3 males and 8 females from the and you said 2 of them was runts from the Bam Bam and Trinity litter, which would be a band dog. For those who don't wonder, if it got 100% pit bull, is going to automatically call it a band dog. If you don't know which one is which, just look at the tails. The crop tails is Sentinels. So go ahead, Lee. What you were saying?
No, that's it. I was going to say that kind of back to the statement about there's no such thing as a breed, though. That's kind of a myth. It's just a family.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate you, man, for coming on. I didn't expect this. We're going to have to do another part 2 and part 3 for the battles. We got to do Choi versus Dixie. I want to see that battle. Choi versus some, because Choi is amazing. Hopefully she can have some puppies on the line. I know a lot of people want a Choi puppy. You know what I'm saying? She's like an internet favorite. And just to recap, guys, Lee has Ranger and Nova. He hasn't put on the internet yet. So if you want that double Frankie Bump Blub, because me, I like this dogs between like 80 and 100 some pounds. Some people don't mind some of the dogs that be 60 pounds, 50 pounds as a Sentinel. So make sure. And then you got Onyx in that blood. You got Onyx. You got Valkyrie. Onyx, that's her aunt. They both big. So that's gonna be amazing right there. You know what I mean? Because we already something similar to the Ranger and Nova is the Rex in Nova. That's almost the same, except you replace Valkyrie with Rogue, and Rogue was even bigger than Valkyrie. So Rogue coming in from Wrecker's sister Riello in Kovu. So I look forward to that one. And then you also got the exclusive Congo and Elsa. Elsa is Lee. If you correct me if I'm wrong, Elsa is starting to be a better producer than her mom. Would you say that? I would say. I would say.
I wouldn't say that. Halo was a great producer. Halo was legendary.
Okay, so he was legendary. So take away the legendary breed in Justice and Halo. Now do it. Take away that breeding and then say that.
And then say what?
How the breeding, how you think it would stack up? Because that's a great breed in the Justice and the Halo. But then you say, okay, how was the Reptar Halo? How was the Vicious in Halo? And how was the Scratch Halo? Because she was bred 4 times to 4 different studs.
Yeah, Halo was great. I mean, I can't think of any breeding I ever did with Halo that wasn't good. Halo was a good producer. You said so. Scratch Halo made Biscuit. Who else did you say that I did to Halo?
You bred her the 4 studs. Justice. You done that several times. You done Reptar, which created Mystique, and then the second one, the smaller dog, and then Ryan had one that he didn't keep, and then you had Scratch in Halo, which was shout out to my brother. He got Cairo, and then you have Vicious. Then you got Vicious 2 and Congo.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Elsa. Elsa was the Death Wish litter, Ranger. Now, hopefully you do that. I'm sure you'll do that in the future. And then you got the recent litter with Slam and Elsa. And then you also, I believe you done Elsa one time to Reptar. It wasn't a lot of puppies, but even that litter, I believe, was kind of good as well. So if my opinion, I think Elsa might top her mom. That's my opinion.
Reptar bred did better with Halo than he did Elsa. I don't remember anything great off of Reptar and Elsa. Maybe there was something great. Do you know somebody that's got something off of Reptar and Elsa?
Dog. Yeah, he put you on the thing. Yeah, it's a big dog. He's like 100. He's a big dog, over 100 some pounds. And you ask him how he rode. Yeah,
Yeah. I remember the picture. But I don't have any evidence. That's a claim from a person that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to say it's true because it was my production, right? But that's a claim from a person that I don't know their experience. I mean, he's happy, and that's good. I'm glad he's happy. But would that have met my standard? I don't know. I don't remember. Reptar only produced really well with dogs that were. Reptar was a great dog, but he only produced to my level of standard when he was bred to dogs that were very heavy on Pitbull influence, like Halo. We bred Reptar to a few. He produced really good with a few dogs, but he wasn't the best producer that I've had, and it was mainly because I did some breeding with him that I should not have done. Like I never wanted to do Reptar and Onyx. My instinct said don't do that. It's not going to work. It's not going to be what you want. Reptar is a great dog. Onyx is a great dog. This is not a good combination. But I had so many people like constantly saying, "I want Reptar Onyx. I want Reptar Onyx. I want Reptar Onyx," and they don't know what I know.
Let me play devil's advocate. That's your opinion of what the breeding was. But if you had 10 puppies and 9 of them liked the puppies, then you got your opinion It's different, right?
Yeah, but that's the part that you didn't get to. So
Okay.
I finally did it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
those dogs were just not very good. And the people that got them, like they were, I never heard great things about them. I mean,
Oh, okay.
they were clumsy, and I knew they were going to be clumsy. I didn't want to do the breeding, but
I seen that one dog
it's
that you had. I think it was Reptar and Halo. He was a return. His name was Buck or something. He looked
who?
big too. His name was Buck or something. He had floppy ears, and I think he was from Reptar Onyx that somebody had returned. I think you put it on your website.
Oh, that was a dog that
That was from Onyx and Reptar, I believe.
uh, Buck wasn't from Onyx and Reptar. He was from Lucky Seven and Onyx.
No, I had to look it up. I think it was definitely Reptar
That's
Onyx.
the dog that Pat Patrick had, wasn't it?
Nah, not him. This was a return.
Well, I got a dog back from Pat Patrick. It was a big buck dog,
I
and I
think
think
you called him.
Lucky Seven and Onyx
I think you
because I think he got two of them, and one of them's with Louise. The other one's with Louise.
Yeah, I think he did it.
Um, but and that dog wasn't bad. It was just not a great dog. Onyx needed more Pitbull. See, that's why we bred her. She produced really good with Scratch. Onyx was too much Mastiff, and Reptar was too much Mastiff. But when they were bred together, you got too much Mastiff.
But Scratch, and he only 53%. But that.
I'm talking about phenotype. I'm not talking about percentage.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you correct. Okay, I got you.
So, yeah, and then they were leggy Mastiff. It was almost like Great Dane Mastiff cross, which is not what I'm about.
Got you.
You know, a Great Dane back in the 1800s, supposedly they were hog dogs, but they also weighed like 90 pounds or 110 pounds.
Right.
Great Danes today are a lot bigger and they're clumsy. They can't even freaking. They get whooped by a pit bull that's 1/3 their size.
Right.
You know, it's just they're clumsy dogs, and that's kind of what happened with Reptar and Onyx. It was kind of clumsy dogs.
Right.
I shouldn't have done it, and it was against my instincts, but you know, I'm a human being. I'm influenced by
You
people.
learn, like you say, right? You live and you learn. Yeah.
So now I just do what I want because I've learned this. I'm going to tell the truth, do what I want, because I don't have time to waste. And if I'm going to provide any education to the next generation, I have to say what I believe to be true. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I can't just. I would rather. You ever heard the statement? If you want to be liked, tell people what they want to hear, but give them nothing.
I can hear you now. Go ahead. Yeah.
Have you ever heard the statement? If you want to be liked, tell people what they want to hear, but give them nothing.
Right. Yeah.
For example, if a woman that's overweight puts on a dress that's too tight and you see every wrinkle and she says, do you like my dress? If you want to be liked, you say, yes, I like the dress. Because if you tell her the truth, well, I can see every fold. I can see your cellulite. The dress is too tight, you know, and you're overweight. And you and I both need to go to the gym and we both need to get in shape because I'm overweight too. If you tell them that, they don't like you, but it's the truth. And so that's why the older I get, the more I need to speak truth. I'm overweight. I shouldn't have eaten that cantaloupe. It's kind of like my dessert. You know, it's
Right.
fruit. It's healthy. It's healthy fruit. But if I want to get in shape, which is important to me, I need to be disciplined, organize my meals.
Right.
And the problem with that is it's kind of boring. And so next thing you know, yes, you're telling the truth, and you're wanting. I don't want to be liked. I want people to be better. And because I want people to be better, not very many people want to be better. They want to be comfortable. A lot of people want to be comfortable.
Yeah. Reptar. There was a Reptar Onyx buck. Yeah, there was. I remember the video, and he was kind of leggy too, and he had floppy ears. I remember that. Yeah.
Okay, so he says there was a Reptar Onyx buck. Okay, I don't remember him. See,
Yeah, you put it on. It's hard. Sometimes it's not like Google where you type it in exactly. It's kind of weird. And then when you go to your website, you do a search. It searches the whole internet instead of just your. They need to fix that. They search the whole internet instead of just searching just your website. I don't.
I remember a lot of the Reptar Onyx dogs as being cowhocked and leggy and tall and clumsy.
Hmm.
And that's for me. Somebody else might call them an athlete, but they were clumsy.
Right.
Dude, I like dogs that are
So that's
quick.
one of the challenges about being a breeder, I would say, Lee, is your own perception, and then what's the perception of your clients.
Yeah, but I don't know anybody that got those dogs that was in love with them. I know one guy that got a dog
I'm
that
just
we
saying
ended up
in general.
replacing.
I'm just
Huh?
saying in general. I'm just saying
Yeah.
in general. You
Sure.
get what I'm saying?
I know one that we replaced because it had a mild hip dysplasia. It was nothing serious, and she did protection work out in California and did a good job. She was a good home protector, but she had mild hip dysplasia, so we replaced her, gave him another dog, and that dog was. Oh, you know what? I'm misspeaking. That was not Reptar Onyx. That was Cobalt Onyx.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I may be wrong. You know, I've been doing this for 26 years. I've produced 2,000 dogs in my life. I can't remember every single one of them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Brian BJ the historian, remember, like, he go way back, so his memory is
Yeah,
he
yeah.
like
This guy,
junior.
he's
He like
he's a smart dude. He's a smart dude. He said something about
stuff.
Indy and it was Blue Jean and Blue Moon. I think he had a dog off of Blue Moon. We got rid of all the Blue Moon stuff. Blue Jean was a really good producer. Blue Moon had a better phenotype than Blue Jean. Blue Jean outproduced Blue Moon. If I remember, did he ask him to answer that? Did he have a Blue Moon dog, or was it the Indy dog? What was it?
I'm sure he listening. He's a that's my dog right there. He be people like that. That's inspiring me, because sometimes I'll be don't want to do it. I was like, you know what, let me just do it, because it does.
He's
I love doing this, but
he's a smart guy. I really enjoyed his speech or
yeah,
his commentary with you.
he need to work something out with you so he can get himself another Sentinel,
Yeah.
a top of line,
Did
Sentinel.
he say what he had that was just okay?
Yeah, I guess which. So are you listening to the thing? Which breeding did you have, Brian? Which breeding did you have? I'm sure he.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm looking for the video of that you had of the Reptar and the Reptar breeding.
You wait and see what. As long as they don't get mollywopped by psychopath over here on my couch, Chewy. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Apex and what did I say that dog's name was? I gotta learn that word. That
Yeah,
new Kimura.
something with a B.
I'm gonna have to look it up again. I can't even remember the dog's name. That's terrible. I may have to rename it. Let's see. It's a cool name. Barado, I think it was, or something
Yeah,
like that.
Barado, something like that. Yeah. Yeah,
Barado.
Justice and Betty Crocker. You had. Let me see. Sometimes you would. Yeah. Phoenix. That's Onyx. It's still 10 people. I appreciate y'all. I really appreciate y'all for y'all to even be staying here. Like I said, I remember it only used to be 2 people here. So for y'all for doing that, it inspires me to keep just doing videos. Like I say, I'm at 3 lives a week, and then I'm gonna eventually get to 4. Just try to keep the topics and just make sure you learn stuff, because it's so much information.
That's his name, Barado. Barato.
Okay.
Yep. And then I'm looking forward to the Bam Bam Trinity stuff. My favorite dogs are about 70% pit, like Ranger.
Is it the phenotype wise, or is it what's the reason why is that? Can you break that down?
Yeah, so when you're around, it seems to be like somewhere between the high 60s and I would say anywhere from 67% up to about 80% is like perfect. When you get to 90%, obviously you're going to give up size, but I wanted those 90%ers because I had some that were low, like 40%, you know, for
Mhm.
or 50%. So I wanted the 90% dogs to breed my 50% dogs. But right now I've got two dogs, both Apex and Parado, that are exactly 72% pit because Parado is out of Bumper and
Kimura.
Kimura, and Bumper is 54%, and Kimura is 90%. Well, you add 54 and 90, you got 144. Divided by 2, that's 72. So that's what Barado is, 72% pit. And then you take the Boomer and Onyx. Well, Onyx is 44 and Boomer's 100%. So that's 144 divided by 2. Boom, you're right at 72% again. And both
Mhm.
those pups are looking great. I mean, they just got the same type of attitude as a pit bull. They have tight skin like a pit bull, a clean coat like a pit bull. They're showing good size and good growth rate right now, so they're probably going to be, you know, in the 80 to 90 pound range, which is going to be nice for, you know, a 72% pit bull. Let's just say they're 85 pounds. That's cool. And then you got I got the Bam Bam to Trinity breeding, and Trinity's that's going to be a 90% pit, which is crazy. But Bam Bam is the biggest pit bull I've got. I mean, he's every bit of 58 pounds, if not 60. He's a big boy. Um, he's a big dog. Bam Bam's a big dog for a pit bull. He's bigger than his daddy.
Being his daddy. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that if he throws some of that size, you take Trinity, that's whatever I said. What should I say? She was like 84 pounds, and then Bam Bam's 60 pounds.
I think
So,
he's gonna be
that,
bigger than Slam Banshee. That's just my
yeah,
opinion.
I think that's going to be bigger too, but we'll have to wait and see because unfortunately I'm stuck to keeping a female out of that. We got like 9 females and 2 boys. I mean, maybe I don't need a male though. I need a female anyway, so that's okay. But I'm hoping we can get a good female out of that. Um, I don't want to breed Onyx again. She's too old, but part of me says I gotta do it. I gotta do it because
So who
you
you
know
going? Who you breed her to?
I
Yeah.
don't think I will, but I
Yeah.
don't think I will. But then another part of me says if I don't, I'm missing an opportunity. But here's the thing: is I've gotta do right by Onyx. So I need to exercise her, feed her right, keep her completely dewormed, give her a high protein diet because when you have puppies, your protein content gets taxed because you're giving a ton of nutrients to the babies.
Mhm.
Make sure her, I'm gonna, you know, maybe if I put her on supplements and really give her excellent quality food, maybe I can pull it off. But it was kind of rough on this last litter, you know, because
Mhm.
she's old. But then another part of me says, I mean, all right, so I wanted a female off of Onyx, and I didn't get to keep a female off of Onyx because I owed somebody a female. I'm going to honor my word, and I gave him a female. So then we had 3 males. Well, I wanted a female, but out of the 3 males, we kept them all because I wasn't going to just, if I can't breed her again, I kept 1 male here for myself. I gave Brian Keaton at Deep South Sentinels 1 male, and then I gave Keaton Temple 1 male. So all 3 of those are here in Mississippi within an hour's drive, you know. But I wanted a female. So
You got to stretch. You got to scratch Onyx, male and female, I believe.
I do. Yep. Hannibal and Leela Jean.
How they coming on? Are they looking a nice size or?
They have good size, and Hannibal is a freaking psychopath. He wants to get anything and everything. He's going to be a good dog. He's really cowhawks though, like Air Trigger. Leela Jean's got very good structure. He's not quite as intense as Hannibal when it comes to getting everything, but she definitely got a lot of dog aggression like Lady Smith did. But I'm hoping that we can get her to do some man work. She's not as big as Lady Smith, but Lady Smith, you know, Lady Smith was not a big dog until she was 2. She's one of the very few dogs that I had that kept growing. Most of those dogs stopped growing at like anywhere from 9 to 12 months, occasionally 14 months. But Lady Smith continued growing until she was like 2. That was very unusual. She just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
What do you call that from? What's that from a genetic standpoint?
Just late bloomer.
I mean, some of them just keep growing. Some individuals grow fast. Some individuals grow slow. Some of them grow for a long period of time. Some of them grow for a short period of time. When you get a fast growing dog that grows for a long period of time, you get a big dog.
BJ the historian got a dog from Preacher in Indy.
Indy. Okay, so that's, I think, if I remember correctly, I think that's the same combination that made Blue Moon. Blue Moon. Hold on now. I think that's the same combination that made Blue Moon, and then we bred Blue Moon to Boss. Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, we're talking about 20 years ago. He may remember that because it was related to what he had. I ended up getting rid of Blue Moon because I didn't like the Blue Moon production.
That's why we keep getting show dogs out of working breeds. They try to rewrite and change the format of the dog that created to be the best. Intended clients don't know more than the creator. Yeah, that's being a breeder, man. I tip my hat off to y'all. Yeah, it's not on there. Lee took it down. Yeah, you right about that. Yeah. So Lee, give us some closeout, Lee. Let me ask you this: when you go against Tom Garner, who you gonna have singing the national anthem on your side? Who you gonna have to sing the national anthem? Who you gonna have singing?
I don't know anything about music.
You gonna have Bruce? Is Bruce Springsteen? I can see you have.
Oh no.
We appreciate.
I'll let you sing it, Julie.
I can't sing. I'll mess it up. I just be the host. I just be in the background, hyping everybody up. I'll be the promoter. Yeah, we all appreciate you, Lee, for sharing your information, because you don't gatekeep information. You don't hide information about the dogs. You keep it a bean, and people appreciate that, because it's easy to people to hide information. You know, I don't want my dogs to look bad, so you don't mind showing their strengths and their weakness, and we appreciate that a lot right there.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with telling my dogs the way they are. I don't like it when I have this happen all the time. Somebody says, "Hey, what do you think of this breeding?" from another person. I think that they need to look at the videos and ask that breeder. When you contact breeder A to ask about breeder B, I don't think that's ethical.
Yeah, no, I can hear you. Yeah.
If you want to ask a question about dogs that Ryan has, ask him. If you want to ask about dogs that Keaton has, then you can ask me, and here's why you can ask me about Keaton. I'm talking about Keaton Temple. Keaton Temple does not have public relations. He doesn't want to deal with the public. He works nights. When he comes home, he has to sleep during the day. So he doesn't want to be bothered during the day. So he said, "Lee, I want to put all my dogs in your name, and so you just handle the business side of that." And so that's why I will speak about Keaton's dogs, but I don't really want to speak about other breeders, because Keaton doesn't have everything that Keaton's owns was like born here. Half of them were raised here. I like the dog. I didn't want to sell the dog, but I'm full. And I said, "Hey, Keaton, take this one." And then he hog hunts with it or does protection work with it. And the reason why he does a lot of hog hunting with his instead of protection work is because I'm the decoy. And if I gave him the dog as an adult, like Nova, Nova lived here for 3 years. She's not going to do protection work with me. She knows me. I'm her friend. She loves me. Right? So you're going to have to go hog hunting with her. And I figured that'd be a good dog. Because, like he had a dog. Do you remember Grindle?
Yeah, I remember. It was kind of like the generation. I remember Grindle and Rebel and something like that.
Yeah, Grindle got killed by a bunch of hogs in the swamp. The hogs drowned her in the water. And so when he lost Grindle.
That's what Homeboy was talking about. Okay.
Well, it was the hogs that did it. It was like 4 or 5 hogs.
No, that's what Diamond Grit Sam said that can happen in Florida. That happens a lot because there's a lot of water, and that's why I say you got to be careful with the vest. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't even know if she had a vest on. It was just because it was a pack of hogs.
Yeah,
and she she was just she was missiles armed, full steam ahead, and if I had any regrets, I'll deal with that tomorrow. Well, unfortunately, she didn't have it tomorrow. She went in, and but Keaton didn't know that that's what she was going into. Keaton, I mean, when you're in the Mississippi, I saw some of the hunts that Diamond Grit does. It's a little bit different there than it is where we are, because in the videos that I saw, I don't know about all of his hunts, but in the videos that I saw, he pretty much was hunting line of sight. He could see the hog when he was releasing the dogs. That's not how it is in Mississippi. You're in the woods. You don't know what you're going into.
Okay.
So you're releasing the hog and the dogs. I mean, you're releasing the dog and the hog's running a couple 100 yards. And by the time you get there, you thought you might have been going into a pasture. You might have thought you were going into a thicket. You might have thought you were going into the woods. Next thing you know, you're in a swamp. So you don't know.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, guys and gals, we appreciate you. Make sure y'all, if y'all hit the hype button on there and you hype it up and you get a certain amount of points, then the algorithm will push it out there so more people can see that. You know what I mean? And make sure we just bring the hard dogs back. And
yeah, I'm sorry. I was gonna say I wanted to close I gave him Nova because he lost Grendel, so that's why he got Nova.
Okay. Yeah. And then those things be happening because he lost Vicious as well. Yeah, them hog hunting is not no goal. That's not no game. You gotta be serious with that hog hunt. You can't play that.
Yeah. But anyway, Julie, thanks for having me on here tonight.
I appreciate you, Lee. So we're gonna set it up, Lee. Where you want to have it at? You versus Ty. You want to have it in Atlanta?
You're too much hypothetical.
Or we have it in Florida because he's in North Carolina.
It's going to be at the 2026 or 2027 Super Bowl at halftime show.
All right, Lee, take it easy, man.
You take care.
All right, bro. Bye. So there we got it, guys. I appreciate y'all. Once again, hype the video up. This is my third live for this week. I probably won't be back tomorrow. I was working on a decoy. I'm waiting on to see if I can possibly do something tomorrow. If not, I put out some of my videos before. Shout out to my man Underground right there, L Dub, aka Underground. Yeah, Diamond Grid is the truth, bro. Diamond Grid is the truth. I'm telling you, bro. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hype the video up if y'all want to. If y'all like it and y'all want to support, you don't have to. I mean, I'm still gonna be cool with you if you do it or not. So and once again, shout out to all my future sponsors. Until next time. Sunday. If I don't do no more, I'm working on something. So I got two things I'm working on. I'm trying to get Sunday. I got a feeling that if the Corso, he said he's gonna let me know probably about a weekend. I got another kind of Corso breeder on there. He's a cool guy. I've been, kicking it with him. He's been telling me some truthful stuff. He ain't kicking tires and he ain't talking all this crazy stuff. He telling what the real truth is, and that's what this channel is becoming. And that was my intention, is to have truthful things out there, and then to let you decide instead of just doing those crazy stuff. His name is Tribal. Cane Corsos I'm working on. If y'all know what Tribal Cane Corsos, some of y'all know them. Tribal Cane Corsos, that's what I'm working on. And just to recap, man, we want to see these battles. Vader versus Nox, Bengasa versus Ninja, Choi versus Dixie, Maggie versus Elsa. We want to see these battles. Kimura versus whoever. Kimura versus Reaper. We want to see these things right here, because at the end of the day, if you think about it, steel sharpens steel. So we can have these battles with like-minded people that's because some people you can't deal with. Some people got crazy attitudes. If you beat them, they're gonna want to fight you. We're not doing none of that. We just having fun. We're not trying to fight. We ain't trying to beef in real life. We want to bring our dogs. We confident. Like I said, when I do the battles, I'm excluded. But if somebody else do it, I have my dogs in there doing it because I like to have fun too. But when I'm doing it, I'm excluded because conflict of interest. But yeah, You got like-minded people. You got like-minded people. You know, because there's always one, like some reason, it's always a person that's not. It's just like a dog, right? They just don't get it. They just got some screws loose. They just don't get it. It's like it's a competition. They want to go far. They want to do this. They want to do this. They want to be this. They want to take it too serious. And that's people like that. That's the new thing, guys. If a person is wild, we gotta say, yo, they got bad nerves, bro. Just like the dogs got bad nerves. A lot of humans got bad nerves, bro. Their nerves is bad. But yeah, once again, guys, I appreciate you. Peace.